All right, y'all, this is the Jeekly 61, the first match of the night. We got mandsaar up against Dany Steele, two killers out here. Mandsaar, shouts to mandsaar running those friendlies with me back at Evo 24. Show me that Bridget. What a nice person, nice player. Dany Steele gonna be pairing you on that bike and said, I don't care how nice you are, homie, you gotta hold this parry. But I love that 5k check on the Kabari follow-up. Great stuff so far.
Yeah, what a press out here, but right now we're seeing Dany Steele being insanely impressive on their own, forcing the burst out from mandsaar here, throwing out the gun, trying to catch Bridget, kind of coming down with that rolling movement, not going to find the mark though, just trying to some nice stagger, and that run-up throw is going to close out the round.
Closing out that first game, strong stuff, man, and you got to look out for those throws. You get stuck on that S tether, you're going to be having a bad time. Dany Steele's going to show you what that looks like, but a great back throw punish right there from mandsaar. mandsaar, very technical player. This matchup a little notorious for Bridget's out there. I wouldn't be surprised if mandsaar has labbed out a lot of very specific interactions, but Dany already calling it out right there with that PRC Rozanson. Got you held up with the tatami after, and the 2H is going to be closing it off in this very first round.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of, like, Dany is just not afraid of a lot of the options mandsaar has been presenting. I'm pretty sure, you know, if you look back, looking back to the first round of that game, I mean, we saw a very nice 5k press from mandsaar. It's a nice little counter hit. So mandsaar definitely knows what to do. We just need to kind of find the gaps in Dany.
Yeah, definitely some really hard call-outs, some very specific call-outs right there. Of course, Bridget's got some pretty good tools out there. Some you don't see too much of. One being that 5k, which we already saw a bunch of from mandsaar. Getting that counter hit on the start, trying to maybe get a burst bait. Dany's going to hold on to it, and luckily didn't spend it right there to corner mandsaar. In fact, we get a parry bait right there, and Dany's going to choose to spend that burst now to try to take something back here in this round.
Yeah, we're seeing another nice 5k press out here from mandsaar, and what a BRC down. Just getting a nice little counter hit off on Dany, but right now we're stuck in this corner. But again, no fear. I mean, mandsaar finding the gaps, as I said before, definitely knows what to do here and closing out this first round here in a very convincing fashion.
Yeah, strong stuff. Strong stuff. I can't believe that we kept our cool with that BRC slowdown. We did the close slash 2H and then threw the yo-yo after, and we were ready with the follow-up. Dany going to be here in the corner. Good parry on that Roger dive. Very an unorthodox option. I think that 214S was going to keep us safe, but Dany was ready, saying, hey, you got to look out for these parries. Nice BRC to get this jump in right here. mandsaar is going to catch this one out for a wall break.
Yeah, you were talking about mandsaar being a really technical player, and I feel like we're really seeing that. A lot of, like, some of the BRC usage we're seeing just to get some of these maybe a bit more niche confirms here. I'm really liking what I'm seeing.
Ooh. Getting a parry bait right there, but then burst into the corner. I mean, this Baiken, I'm looking at that Bridget HP. This isn't not doable, right? This is actually pretty close. Either player's round at this point. Of course, mandsaar has all that meter to play with. Going to keep it safe with that Roger super, giving you just a little bit of plus frames. I think it's like literally +1 or 2. I don't know the numbers. Don't fault me if I'm wrong, guys. But the 6P called out by that gun super arrow K. Dany coming back that round. Solid stuff.
Now we're seeing Dany. Oh, what a 5k press off of mandsaar. Again, it's a lot of these really smart Avares, a lot of these really smart presses that's just letting us kind of take control of this match here. Getting a bit of that positive bonus, going to be building that meter right back up. It's gone nowhere. The looping pressure. We got 100 meter to play with. YRC comes out. We got to throw out here, Jeek. Dany might be able to take it back, but what a throw attempt. Unfortunately, just a bit too plus. We had to spend burst.
No meter on the side of this Dany, but was ready to call out that 2D. Bet it all on throw. mandsaar gonna close it out with that scooter. And dude, that was actually kind of close on that scooter. I think we were OTGing there, so if that didn't kill, that could have been a weird situation. I wouldn't be surprised if mandsaar would have been able to clean it up after, but that's a different timeline. The timeline we're on is that mandsaar took this game too. Solid stuff, but Dany didn't go out without a fight, man.
Yeah, I think at this point, it's still definitely anybody's game. I mean, we're tying it up 1-1. Dany, definitely you start to see the counter adaptations again. We're just throwing out those parries, and it's ended up working out pretty well for us. Oh, that 6P coming out yet again. Goes for a nice little cross-up. We're going to find that mark there. running for the overhead. Yet again, the Vortex is in session. But Dany spending that burst, trying to get a little bit of that offensive presence, but what a defensive 2P. They're able to get a nice counter hit running here, getting that hard knockdown, resetting up that yo-yo. And again, it's that Vortex.
mandsaar does have a lot of meter to play with here, Medikit. You can do some tricky stuff. Or you can just keep it simple and just use it defensively on that YRC and then get the follow-up after. Able to take that time to line up those 2Hs. Unfortunately, couldn't get that close slash there in the corner. One more hit could take it against Dany here. Able to space out that JS, but that JH back from mandsaar. Great air to air. Able to call out Dany there, taking that first round of game 3.
Dany trying to find an answer in the run-up 6B, gonna let us get a start here. Setting up that safe jump, going for that H-Kabari here, but mandsaar not pressing. Oh, tried to call it out. I like that decision there. You're looking at that PRC, you know, Dany knows that mandsaar's been pressing 5K in those really smart situations, so we try to bait it with a PRC. We don't find the mark there, but right now, I mean, it let us retain in this position.
And that was some amazing defense from mandsaar to keep our cool there in the corner. Any one of those hits would have been all we needed finally to get it on that IED JS. mandsaar able to show that defense, but at that point the HP was too low to face that comeback. Nice 5H from downtown. Has Dany here in the corner, and you see mandsaar going for the early breaks there, not worried about getting both hits of the scooter. In fact, just trying to secure the Oki off of that break. Dany getting away with a lot of parries here though, Medikit, and that run-up throw, betting it all on throw.
Yeah, we're betting it all. I mean, when you have that 100 meter to try to cover you, but we burst out. Dany has a chance. We have that 50 meter coming up. What a 5P.
Nice DP right there. Trying to call out the possible follow-up. I like that very confident punish there from mandsaar. Knew that we were above the blast of the gun. It can be kind of tricky there. Just held our roll and said, hey, let's see what happens here. And in fact, we got the punish. Great stuff there. Taking that game 3. Dany's still, of course, getting that first game and then taking us to the last round in the past 2. This is still either play or set, I got to say, but the Bridget's got the momentum right now.
Yeah, we're seeing Dany, you know, try to find those gaps, trying to, you know, really just get the momentum that was lost after that first game here. But I mean, mandsaar is definitely, you know, really pushing it, you know, just constantly putting Dany on the back foot.
Being confident with those far slashes too. I think that third one was a trade, and then Dany even sent a fourth one right there. You got to be careful about those high jumps against Bridget with that gnarly 2H, but of course if you're tricky about it like Dany is, you're able to get these jump ins, you're able to get that Yoyomaster after. I like this FD defense you're seeing from mandsaar. In fact, was ready with the IBFD just a second ago, and the DP to follow up to get out of that H-cab pressure. Dany very confident with these throws, but I gotta hand it to mandsaar, has not really been falling for him, and in fact is able to revert the situation here.
Just getting that hard knockdown, setting up that yo-yo. Dany able to escape just a bit, but not long enough. That yo-yo gonna be reset, gonna be getting a nice little bit of hard knockdown, a little bit of that positive bonus, build that 50 right back up. But Jeek, if you look, you're seeing that full stick of butter, but it doesn't matter in the afterlife. Dany gonna be taking it to the grave as we head to set point for mandsaar.
Strong stuff, good defense there on that Yoyomaster, but Dany was still ready with the close slash after, and you can't charge that roll too long or else you're just, you know, it's like melee break the targets, man. You're floating in the air. You gotta look out for that big air normals, air specials from Dany. We got some mix going on here with that 2S and the roll coming back. Couldn't get too big of a follow-up after, but the back throw situation. Dany been sending these reversals on the parries, but this time we had the meter to turn it into the super.
And it's just enough to kill that counter hit. Going to be letting us even up the rounds here. Dany looking to bring us to a game 5 in our first match of the Jeekly 61. Right now we're seeing some very patient neutral from both these players here. We finally find our way in with that JS. Go for the low. Loop that pressure yet again, Jeek. It's all just the yo-yos out. The parry finally punished out here.
Oh my gosh, and punishing that H-cap follow-up right there. Dany just using it as momentum, but mandsaar catching with the JH. Dany did just get that next hit though. We are running you back with these H-caps, but those DPs on the H-cap follow-ups have been doing wonders for mandsaar. Dany able to get back on top of you. The trade hit pays off for this Baiken, but the back throw red RC will be a wall break. Not enough to kill, I don't think, Medikit. We got another guess here after that Roger dive.
another guess, and that positive bonus is gonna be doing us wonders here because we can build up to that YRC. Right now we're seeing Dany just try to send it, but again, a nice little BRC from mandsaar, gonna be closing out that round, closing out that set. And I mean, everybody, come one, come all. We're into the second match of the Jeekly 61. We got Roiyariti on that Faust fighting up against Jeboss on that Johnny. Two very strong players out here, starting off fairly patient here. Jeboss gonna be setting up that card, but it's a bit minus without that meter to cancel it. So now we're just back to this neutral situation, just kind of playing it a bit safe. There we go, there's the meter, get that card set up. Nice throw there, get that card set up yet again, goes for the TK. Oh, goes for the Insega, tries to bait out maybe a throw attempt. So now we're seeing Roiyariti able to put their own offense up here. Goes for the low, we find it. And this is going to be a nice little wall break, especially as we get that hammer 8. So we can kind of control the neutral a bit, especially with that hole-in-one, that golf club sending it forward. Oh. Jeek, I'm looking at some amazing patience here. And nice, sending the Johnny up right above that trumpet so it doesn't work against us. It's going to let Roiyariti take this first round.
Strong stuff there from Roy. Very solid here on this Faust. Not a character you can make very many mistakes on, especially against a player as good as Jeboss here on this Johnny, man. Blocking out that standard pressure there in the corner. Going in for that 5D. Roy did have that trumpet in the back pocket. Not the, most clear item to use when you have it on the item eat, but Roy was able to find a chance to spend it. And now we got these counter hits in the corner, trying to bait a burst, but maybe misread that burst timing. Instead, we're going to go for a reset here, called a drop-timal.
That works out. There's that bomb set, so we can really control the neutral a little bit here, play a little bit of hot potato. Ends up working out for us. We try to go for a quick little PRC, maybe a little bit of scroll PRC, but it's A-okay. Is what we're seeing out here is Jeboss set up that card, that bomb going to be of no concern. Quick little 5P, 2P, Abare going to be closing out the first game.
Closing that one out. I like that we did try to keep that vault safe with that PRC. Roy able to get that bomb too, man. You were stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? Jeboss is trying to get something started with that dash up throw, not trying to get blown on our rear end by that bomb. But it looks like Roy's going to take this first one. We're going to see how Jeboss adapts against this Roy. I mean, the Faust that are good with the items, man, it can sometimes feel like, what am I supposed to do? Because even if you make the adaptations, what if they get different items?
Yeah, and that's a skill set that kind of lends to the nature of how you play Faust. Is you have to be quick on your feet. You have to know how to play around those items and be able to react to those items. What a throw on the Wild Assault! That burst gonna be gone at this point. Getting a nice little route here. Getting a wall stick. Not enough meter for a hard knockdown, but we've got that banana peel. We can try to sit down a little bit of a stage hazard. Oh, there's the trumpet yet again. Johnny gonna be. Oh, just barely go over it, but we're able to dash into it. It's forcing Roiyariti to kind of jump up here, but we got no meter to cover that vault, Jeek. Oh, going for some nice fuzzies out here. Nice crawl under that 6H. We're just keeping Jeboss in the corner, going for a nice little bomb. Jeboss has one more chance, but it's going to be eaten away. Snip, snip, snipped, cut away. It's going to be Roiyariti taking that first round here. Jeboss got that burst built back up so he can go for those Wild Assault routes. There it is. Trying to bait Roiyariti into pressing anything, but Roiyariti with amazing patience, we go for the throw.
The 2S gets that pickup, and we're ready with that card as well. Jeboss going to send you through with this hard knockdown. I hope you're used to seeing Johnny's win, man, because check out CEO. I don't want to spoil too much. I won't spoil too much, but shouts to Keishu on that Johnny. Shouts to Jeboss. Jeboss on this Johnny getting that perfect, solid stuff, man. We were really running it that round against Roy, and that was a long perfect too. You really got to earn those long perfects, but we're on top here. We're catching that backdash with our multi-hitting moves. Now Roy going for some zoning here. That far slash can be gnarly to try to keep back a player trying to step dash in like Jeboss is.
Yeah, we're able to get Roiyariti in that corner here, and this is where Johnny can be extremely impressive, but we're able to escape.
Got to be tricky about those, man. I like that 5K route from Jeboss, unfortunately dropping, but Medikit, that one was looking cool there for a second.
Looking insane. insanely cool. But right now we're back to playing that careful neutral game. We try to vault, but we don't have that meter to cover it. Roiyariti being insanely aware and just being able to punish that about every time we've seen it. I'm gonna be getting a nice little, oh, we got the mini Faust out. So after this hard knockdown, we're able to throw the little homie. They're going to be able to control that neutral, control that space, because the second you set off mini Faust, you're just locked down.
Patui out that little fella. Oh, I really like that air stall that we just saw from Jeboss, that double jump card toss. Kind of nullifying this mini Faust. Where is he, homie? My man walked off screen. He's gone now. He said, no, I'm out of this match. YRC coming out. Jeboss has Roy in the corner, but the back throw is going to take it, getting a game 2, but that was a much closer game we saw.
Yeah, that was definitely a shift in tone from the first game there. Jeboss definitely able to, I guess, lock in a bit, you know, just kind of see the gaps in Roiyariti's game plan and able to get that a lot closer and a lot of a closer conversation than we saw in the first game.
Man, again, Jeboss in these hard situations. You had the bomb hitting you on the rear end. You got a Faust in your face. Still kept our cool, but Roy took it out. Here on game 3, getting some good counter hits to start off, man. Jeboss spending that burst here. Able to get, oh my gosh. Weird route right there. I did not realize the angle that bomb was going to take after that close touch hit from Jeboss. Unfortunately, got blown up out of that combo. Roy happily takes those.
Yeah, what a 6P out here, and we have that banana peel set up. Tries to go for a little bit of that instant BRC overhead. Oh, don't have to deal with that YRC out, but there's the mini Faust. There's the homie. We're walking away. Ain't got nothing to do with us. We might not even... Oh, we launched the mini Faust towards him so you can spectate.
Here on set point, mini Faust. Roy said, hey, mini Faust, watch this.
Got bring you your son to work day.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, bring your son to work day. Say, hey, Billy, watch what your dad does. This is my 9 to 5 out here. Jeboss trying to come in, disrupt the workplace environment, but Roy getting a counter hit here, gonna mix you back to the corner. Said, hey, son, look at this. Oh, you can join in here. You can help me out. You can help out Dad. Thank you.
You hold the light as I put the wheelchair through the shin.
Oh, not enough to kill. It's okay, Mini Faust. You'll do better next time. Roy safe jumping right there, calling out that reversal from Jeboss. Able to go into the command grab, by the way, so it kept away that blue burst. I'm going to show you real quick. This Mini Faust helping out with the super again. Roy's going to be able to take this set, guys. Moving on through the bracket, y'all. We got some cool characters here on the screen. We got Axel, we got Jacko, we got Noobhat, Joe, Brownie. I was saying it on the stream. I'll say it for the YouTube VOD as well. Noobhat, previous Academy winner, playing in that Jeek League, as well as Joe Brownie, repping that YoKai team. Killing it in some of these net play brackets. Going to see if they can't kill it today with a very strong start, I gotta say.
Very strong start indeed. Looking insanely commanding out here. Throwing out those minions. We just need one more, a little bit of a clip to do it, and that 2K is going to close the round, seal the deal. As, you know, Noobhat just needs to find an answer.
Good just block right there. Shouts at Danknan in the chat, said, I love this stage. Homie, I love this stage too. Definitely, Arcs has been putting their priorities in line, making these last 2 stages. They look amazing. Definitely love this one. This is my go-to nowadays. I mean, look how good this color 16 Joe Brownie looks. I think it's color 16, right? I don't got my numbers right. But anyways, back throw from Noobhat turns into an air throw from Joe Brownie. We still going to keep you in this corner, and we're still going to lock you down to take this first game.
And that's one thing with Joe as well, is that Joe's able to just kind of snowball insanely strong. I mean, the second you get into the corner, especially, you don't want to be in the corner against anybody, but especially with Joe Brownie, just really on the ball with a lot of these, you know, the shimmies, all of these frame traps, just keeping you locked down and scared, especially with that risk building.
And Jacko does that, man. I know she has a literal timer move, but she also just through her block strings feels like she's putting you on that timer. Of course, she's spending her resources to get those bots out and do those commands, but you see your HP get chipped away. You see that risk bar increase. You see your tension go down if you're FDing it out. You feel like you're on a clock. You got to press a button, and that's where the Jackos thrive, and looking for those frame traps, looking for those tick throws. And right now, Joe Brownie keeping it simple with his Elysian driver confirmed to take this first round of Game 2.
And what a 2D, just sending it down from left field, able to get it. Starting us off here, nice little just I-80 forward, trying to move around a lot of these longer axle buttons, because that's one advantage Noobhat does have, is that we are able to challenge these minions from a longer distance away. But we're back in the corner, and again, it's just a lot of that deadly Joe Brownie pressure. See a couple of those tap dusts, a little bit of that stagger, and that's going to be a quick second game in the books for Joe Brownie. Oh, we're going to be seeing Noobhat just hop right back on the stage here. No breather needed, no breather required out here, as we're going to be getting into our third game of Noobhat versus Joe Brownie out here. What are we going to start off with? Oh, nice rainwater to start us out. Going to be getting a nice clip out here. Chooses to get Joe Brownie right up close and personal here. Uses that rainwater to flee back a bit. Now we're just going to be pressuring out a little bit of that Ren-Sen, trying to keep Joe Brownie zoned out. Yep, there's that 5K trying to challenge that minion. Oh, we got I was going to say, we got all three of the bots out. Only one remaining. Now we got two, just building up all of that risk. Look at it build. This is gonna hurt.
Strong stuff here from Joe. And I like that. We jump cancel right there, and then even though the bot is off screen, you still got to respect it. Joe sending those attack commands in the air. Good stuff there from Noobhat, using that YRC defensively. And even though you're in the corner, you have that distance to start playing your Axel game. Wanting to keep that pressure going with that red RC connection. But Joe, with that very deep jump-in cross-up still with the, I don't know my Jacko buttons, JK. Sorry, Arxis. Strong stuff there from Joe to take that round. We're here on set point.
And set point starting off strong for Joe Brownie, getting about half health deleted here from that Axel, just maneuvering insanely well around these longer buttons out here, forcing the burst out here from Noobhat, so we didn't have to eat that counter hit. We're back. Oh, nice 2K to challenge that bot out here, but we got that 100-meter Jeek. Any hit could hurt.
Joe right here just going for the strikes, man. You don't see these overrepresentations of throws, and just as soon as I start to say that sentence, Joe pulls out that grab out of their back pocket. Noobhat with some good Obari with that 2P, trying to get something started. That face first Ren-Sen, gonna get some damage applied. Counter hit 2D is gonna turn to this confirm. Joe Brownie, strong stuff. Noobhat able to get out of the corner some of those times against Joe, but strong stuff from this Jacko player. Gonna be moving on in the bracket. Moving on through this bracket, we got another interesting cast of characters, man. We've been really fortunate with the characters we've been getting tonight. We got Christian Crab coming up against Tenack. Let me get those names swapped for you. Of course, Christian Crab we know is one of the Asukas here in the scene. Tenack, very strong Ramlethal, but right now we're getting super through the wall medikit. Strong start for this Asuka over here.
Very true indeed. Christian Crab's game plan definitely just to keep you locked down, especially with all of these cubes Asuka's putting on the screen, looking like a geometry class. But right now, we're seeing Tenack finally be able to lock Christian Crab down, getting that rock set up, catching out the nice backdash with that sword. Just waiting for that nice sword to come back. There it is, able to RC. Nice little flip out here. Gonna not be seeing a burst from Tenack, but we choose not Tenack. Yeah. We're building all that mana back up. We blocked the Mortabato, but we had the meter to cover it, so now we just have to endure all of this pressure out here and burst out, trying to find a way in. But what a sword toss, able to close out that first round.
Strong stuff, man. It was looking like a Christian Crab round there for a second, but Tenack took you and made you a Rangoon. Ramlethal getting caught on that backdash, though. We got these cubes set up. We already got our staff. Oh my god, I really love that Hail Mary H-Sword from Tenack. Said, nope, you're not going to Exodia me today. We did get the tail end of that staff, but nice teleport PRC. Very aggressive stuff here from Crab.
Yeah, and we had the cubes to cover it. We had that big cube. You had the wall of cubes just to keep Tenack locked down, trying to deny any escape, even in up the rounds here. We got all of those cubes kind of lined up here, so able to, you know, jump a little bit back as we saw, play a little bit of that zoning game, but now that we're in, it's party time. All foot is on the gas. Please keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times as we get that auto import. There is that good old wall of cubes back up. We're just cranking that risk. There's that overhead, and we're gonna be going and just setting it up again. There's that cross up. We're gonna be seeing quick little bit of damage here, quick little bit of death, as we're gonna be seeing Ramlethal head through the wall out to space.
Yo, Tenack gotta stop by that gift shop, get that t-shirt. I survived the Asuka blender. And I mean, we got to cross out the word survive because we got mauled right here, man. I'm going to keep it real with you. Great stuff there from Crab. Did a little swag mana gain there at the end. Able to take it out with that super strong stuff. But Tenack with a very solid round one, man, especially when Crab had that lead. And you saw some very specific answers there from Tenack. You know, it may not be so obvious, but in the context of trying to keep down that Asuka Exodia, that Hail Mary H-Sword actually kind of smart. So we'll see here if we got any other answers in this game too.
Yeah, we're seeing Christian Crab just back up a little bit. Nice counter hit, Blue Wild Assault. Not going to be seeing a confirm off of it. Just seeing Tenack able to kind of rush it in, force the conversation, force the situation. We're seeing that crank risk to the maximum. Any hit's gonna hurt, especially with that mana getting ever lower and lower.
Tenack gonna eat this YRC. Crab 2+ on that close slash. Unfortunately, I think that was a throw protection situation right there. Tenack does have some meter to play with on the other side, and Crab had no mana to protect themselves. Going to take a lot of damage there on that Ramlethal corner pressure. Answering with that big ball on the round start. You got to respect that one out here. And then we got another one for the back turn. Strong stuff here from Crab, Medikit.
Very strong indeed. Going for a nice little corner steal, teleporting up in the air, letting us get this nice little bit of hard knockdown positive bonus. Going to be using all of that, just sending out all those cubes, use that tension, refill a bit of that mana as we see fit. But right now we might not need to. There's the round. Christian Crab closing it out, evening up those rounds here. We have another Screamer. We're just going to send it with a Jump Screamer, refilling yet again. We have that DP up. Some Asukas definitely don't like having that DP though, because it does deny you from having another one of those cards up.
Yeah, playing for the DP card is almost like playing to lose, huh? If you want to think about it like that way. Or you can think about it as an awesome option to get out of that fake pressure there from Tenack and earning you that burst. So very smart choice of Crab to hold on to that DP. Ended up paying off there. Dancing around these rocks, Tenack does have that meter, and you see Crab respecting it on these normal hits of Far Slash. Oh, the backdash kept you safe from the 2S, but the 5H with a nice counter hit. Tenack very strongly has 100 meter here, able to take it to the other side with that close slash lineup, and Medikit with the mana breaking. That's gonna be game 2 going to Tenack.
Yeah, and you saw Christian Crab just trying to just find a cube, but unfortunately just not able to find it. That deck getting a little bit thin. That's what allowed Tenack out here to get that Calvados and just see that mana drain and just close out that second game.
Yeah, unfortunately, we were drawing only hand traps there. Ash Blossom, Effect Veiler, Nibiru. I scoop. Here we go. Game 3.
No, but we found the cubes out now. This time we're sending them, but what a Far Slash, deleting all of them. We're refilling those cubes back up. We got 2 teleports. We got the big cube. Just not able to find an opening as Tenack's locking us down yet again, catching that backdash out here. That mana gonna be broken, so this is gonna hurt. There's gonna be getting that Mortabato through the wall. We have another chance here, but we have to wait for that mana to come back.
And that YRC is going to give you some time to do that. And I like that from Crab right there. Still shuffling the cards. Of course, even though you're out of mana, you can still stack that hand. And also, smart stuff there from Tenack. That big cube can be intimidating, but if you got a quick active normal like Ramlethal's 5k, that can be the answer. Great. Mortabato RC there from Tenack. Waited for Christian Crab to hit the ground so they couldn't burst any longer. Got the OTG with the wipers. Now, Crab did have their burst here for that interaction. Tenack trying to get something started here with that run up 5H with this close slash presser after. And we're going to carry to the wall for this one, Medikit.
into the wall. No wall break, but that, I mean, honestly, if you're Christian Crab, that might actually be worse because now you're stuck in the corner against Ramlethal, and that's the game.
Oh my lord. We live by the mana and we die by the mana out here, Metakid, it seems.
You know, we got Zeused. All our board is gone.
Man, couldn't even play from the graveyard after we lost all that mana like that. Strong stuff from Tenack. Getting that game 3. I like what we're seeing here from Crab. We just got to bring it all together. Smart stuff with the cards. Smart stuff playing around the mana. We got to see if we can answer it back here in this game 4. Tenack, though, very strong opponent playing over in that Jeek League. Shoutouts to Team Factor. They'll be playing in the playoffs in just 2 weeks from now, guys. You got to check us out. I should have the date on hand. I apologize, I don't. It's going to be July 1st, actually. So 1st of the month of July, we're going to be starting that Jeek League playoffs. But here we're the Jeek League 61. Shoutouts to Arxis for restreaming this one. I hope you guys are having fun over in that chat. I hope you're playing nice. Play nice now. We don't get this every day, so we're playing ball, playing nice. Christian Crab getting a nice throw out here and some good Oki with that big cube.
Oki indeed, and now we're denying Asuka a lot of that auto import, that mana getting ever lower and lower. And I mean, we've seen what happens when that mana breaks. Christian Crab does as well, so we're just taking a quick chance to use some of that health to refill it. Now we're back up, but what a throw! Not scared of the cubes in the slightest, Jeek. So now we're in the corner yet again against Ramlethal. That mana is now broken. Any hit'll do it.
It's going to be that 2S right there. 2D, excuse me, from Tenack. That button, man. That button's like Batman. Always comes out when you need it. That 2D. Christian Crab. Got you with the overhead. Nice goal burst there from Tenack. Very confident. This is the time to do it, right? You're up a round. It's still early in this round. May as well spend that goal burst. You're probably going to get it back. Say you even lose this round, you'll probably get it back. But Crab in a not great situation. No mana, 100 meter on the side of Tenack. Anything would have done it. It's going to be that Mortabato. Tenack, strong stuff. Going to go ahead and get this game 4. Move on to the bracket.
Everybody, we got Kaneda, we got Hee Ho, we got Sin, we got Millia. Pixie versus the high damage dispenser. Out here, coming out here, Kaneda. Both bursts are gone immediately out here. Hee Ho trying to find a way in. You have to be kind of be careful, especially around that DP that Sin does have. So we're seeing kind of some patient play. A nice punish on the run up, trying to run some mix. Kaneda able to block it out. But I mean, Hee Ho has to be at least a little bit scared because the second you get hit once, it can spell the end. Just going ahead, setting up more mix.
I do like Hee Ho's strategy, Metakid, of just simply not getting hit. Definitely a smart one, guys. If you haven't tried that one out, I'd go ahead and take a note of that one. Put it in your little workbook, your little Strive workbook. Unironically, I keep one of those Metakids. I see a combo. Okay, I'm gonna try that one out, and then next time I'm gonna write, okay, don't take any damage. Good stuff. Hee Ho getting a hard knockdown here with that 2D.
Yeah, going for that double turbo fall, going for the side swaps. Oh, nobody's blocking that. If you're blocking that, you're lying to me. Regardless, oh, tries to go for a throw attempt, but right now what we're seeing is a little bit of that damage. Kaneda able to show us what they're made of here. Gonna be going for a 3 dusts, able to go through that wall, build up that positive bonus 50 tension for that Tyrant Bale coming up here shortly. Just chooses to spend it on that RC, but this might be the end, and here we're seeing why, you know, Hee Ho's been playing so evasive, trying to avoid getting hit at all costs, because I mean, again, you get hit once, it could spell the end.
Nice stuff right here. Able to get that hard knockdown. Kaneda said, I don't want any of that mix. Was going to keep that combo going with that DP after Hee Ho spent the burst, but Kaneda, oh, I was about to say, still has all this stamina to play with, but an awesome read on that throw there from Hee Ho, trying to get in with that double air dash. Kaneda's having none of it with some amazing defense, keeping that hair car safe, but catching that backdash with the JH. And look at the respect that Kaneda has gained from Hee Ho in terms of representing that Hawkbaker. Hee Ho going for Oki, that is just walk back. Amazing air throw on that turbo fall. And great up back here from Hee Ho. We're going back and forth, man, to try to get out of this corner.
It's back and forth indeed, but given the damage, suddenly it turned for the worse. Hee Ho needs to find an answer, needs to endure, but gets frame trapped by that 5H, and that's going to be Kaneda reversing the situation, taking this first game.
Strong stuff here, Kaneda. Strong stuff. Taking this first one. By the way, guys, we're qualifying for that top 24 side of the bracket. I may or may not have been reminded by the replay. So we're going to see who keeps making it through. Of course, we're still on the winner's side. I said it earlier. I wasn't trolling. If you lose one of these matches, it isn't anything to fret about. We play a very volatile fighting game, but that's why we love it. Shouts to Guilty Gear Strive. So sometimes you can get knocked out in this part of the bracket, but still find your way all the way back up in grand finals. You've seen players like Jack do it before. We'll have to see who does it tonight. Kaneda getting Artemis on that Hawkbaker on the other side. Hee Ho unfortunately couldn't keep that close slash hit going. We still have both of our bursts from both players, man.
Yeah, and I like that little air backdash from Hee Ho just to make sure that JH does not whiff. Set up all this disc mix, forcing Kaneda to block it all, trying to guess out. Going to be getting a nice, not a wall break, but it is a reset, forcing out. I'm assuming that was a... I don't believe that was actually a DP. Actually just ended up catching out that hoof stomp. Getting into the second round out here. Hee Ho just playing so evasive, so patient.
Nice counter hit bar slash there. Kaneda said, I'm not... those counter hit bar slashes, those momentum drift ones especially. You see that hair car start coming, you said, nope, I do not want to give you that Twitter clip. In fact, I'm going to take my own. Going to hit you back through this wall. Hee Ho unfortunately couldn't get that JK connecting. Kaneda with some very patient play here. You see a lot of back dashes, a lot of back air dashes, but it's just because we're trying to whiff, or rather get a whiff on a far slash from Hee Ho, but instead we're going to slow down things with that RC, get a nice counter hit close slash, and break the wall with JD. That's a lot of damage for Millia, man.
That's a lot of damage in Hee Ho. Really just needs one more clean hit. That hair car should be enough. Not going to build that burst back fast enough, evening up the games. Showing us why they're here, why they've been able to get so far in the bracket, qualify, get to the qualifiers for that top 24 position. Just fighting their heart out.
Strong stuff. And I'm just going to keep it real, man. I'm just going by what the round count was. Much stronger round there from Hee Ho in terms of the round count at least. Of course, Kaneda was able to get that first game, so I would still say this is still back and forth. I'm liking what we're seeing here as we roll into this game 3.
Yeah, we're gonna need to see if Kaneda is able to kind of keep it going, get that momentum back from Hee Ho out here. Nice little 5K trying to catch it. Both players kind of representing some of those quicker buttons, not wanting to get caught out too early. Kaneda forcing that burst, but what a 6-speed, calling out that good old Hawk Baker.
Ooh, we're getting creative right there with those air normals. The JD, of course, has that forward momentum. Unfortunately, couldn't get that lane reset right there. If you know, you know. Hawk Baker going to come in. We got a back throw here from Kaneda, getting that punish, going into that hoof stomp right away, cashing out all of our stamina and meter. But with that positive bonus, getting it back for us, that hard knockdown situation. But Hee Ho with an amazing Abare right there, Medikit.
Amazing Abare, and that's gonna let us close out that round. Kaneda choosing to save the burst. Not gonna be able to spend that full stick of butter here, but nice whiff punish out here. Hee Ho forces the burst out, so we do not want to deal with anything out here. I mean, we saw in that first game, Jeek, any hit could spell doom, especially on a character that does as much damage as Sin does.
Oh my lord, the Maturino just got big right there. Medikit, I'll have to shout that one out in a second. Big fat contributions coming in as we get that PRC, but the counter hit comes out from Kaneda. We're going to walk it to the other side of the screen with this RTL. And after a couple of those normal hits, this one's actually going to turn to a wall break. So hard knockdown confirmed here from Kaneda out of that corner. Able to dead frame with the 5P for a little bit of mix and then stealing the round back. Strong stuff there from Kaneda, stealing that momentum and then turning it into a round win.
Yeah, just, you know, really giving Millia a tour of the countryside that Arxis has crafted here. But right now, Hee Ho's trying to steal that momentum right back. A little bit of a deflect shield, not going to deter Hee Ho too much. We're just running in, no fear in our hearts. Capel going to find the mark here, going to be going for some more. Oh, notice that hair car was not going to hit, so he PRC'd it to keep it safe. I'm liking the decision making, I'm liking the awareness.
Able to confirm into this bad moon combo. My God, Hee Ho doesn't even give you a chance to burst, man, because that wall splat locked you out of it. Strong stuff in that round, getting that perfect. Hee Ho, very powerful round. And while we got a second, I gotta say big shout outs to DaniGod for making a fat contribution to that prize pool. That's why you saw it jump up so much. We're sitting at $160 all of a sudden for a free online tournament, man. This is free, by the way. This was free to enter. I don't know if that's clear to y'all. You can just sign up any Friday, 8 p.m. EST. You got a computer, you got a good connection, you're here in NA, you like Guilty Gear Strive, I want you to come and enter. I'd love to have you. Hee Ho and Kaneda going here to this game 4.
Oh, going for that Tyrant barrel. Get a nice little bit of damage. Don't believe that was a clean hit, but we got that positive bonus, got that hard knockdown. Just waiting for that stamina to come back. Having to use a little bit of that meter just to keep our pressure safe, keep it going. Hee Ho able to find the escape out here, but that counter hit, especially with that meter, going to be going for a nice little RTL again and giving Millia a tour of the stage. Not enough to wall break, but honestly that might be worse. Now we're stuck in the corner.
I mean, it's a very pretty stage. I wouldn't mind a tour. Good, very high up pickup with that close slash from Hee Ho. Oh, dude, that deflect shield was actually kind of crazy because Hee Ho going to that other side, it actually put us into the corner. Of course, we were able to get out of it. We're able to get you with that S sword. One more hit from a Hawkbaker will do it right here, Medikit. But the bait on the YRC, Hee Ho, very strong stuff to close that out, even on that low HP. And now we're sitting here at set point.
For that is again, we've seen Kaneda be really on point with these deflect shield OSs, just choosing to spend that resource, trying to deny it, but Hee Ho with some amazing gameplay, just keeping it going. And nice hoof stomp, dealing with the Mirage wonderfully out here, gonna let us get another Tyrant barrel. Trying to take it back this round, trying to stay alive. Hee Ho sitting on set point, but I mean, I feel like the score doesn't really truly tell the story of how this set went. It's been insanely back and forth.
That JH right there catching Kaneda. We're here in the corner. The YRC comes out, going for that immediate hoof stomp, man. If you got the meter to follow it up, then why not? Hee Ho gonna be sent through the wall here, but was able to build up our burst. We'll have to see how that manifests into a meter advantage. Kaneda, of course, getting that stamina back. Seeing, hey man, these hoof stomps are working. I'll just go ahead and send another. Spending all that stamina. Hee Ho did take quite a bit of damage here, but I think that burst was pretty wise. No stamina here on this Sin, as long as we can keep our pressure up. But Kaneda with a really good 2K2D. Now we got you in the corner. Late cancel on that stamina. Hee Ho able to get this counter hit to get out of that corner and get this hard knockdown.
And this is exactly what we're looking for. Gonna be just trying to keep Kaneda locked down. Nice YRC out here, especially for that positional advantage out here. Goes for that hoof stomp yet again. Goes for that 2H into that elk hunt. Just Hee Ho just holding it all down. Goes for that super. Gonna be setting up that H disc yet again. Guess for your life scenario. Tries to bait the burst. Burst is blocked. What a bait. And that's gonna be Hee Ho taking the set 3-1. We got two of, you know, at least my favorite characters on screen. We got Wild on that Giovanna, and we got Pedrito on that lethal Abba, starting us off here, immediately going through that wall, refreshing all of that jealousy gauge. Gonna be getting that 50 tension starting out here. Nice little 5H. We're just seeing Pedrito just kind of send it in a lot of these scenarios, especially when you have all of that more how to play with, all of that JR. I mean, honestly, you just kind of can, but right now we're forced out of our install. Wild trying to lock it down out here, trying to play with a lot of these faster buttons, but we have the meter to RC the key grab here, and that's going to be a good old wall bouncer out. Call it a dust loop. Taking this first round.
Solid stuff, man. But Wild already making some adaptations, got you with that punish 5K. Pedrito spending that gold burst, and this is where that violence comes out, man. Gold burst on an Abba like that, you were able to get that Jealous Rage install and build up meter while running your opponent down screen, while dealing all that damage. Strong stuff. Wild gonna get you with that 5D red RC though, so it ain't nothing but a thing. I'm gonna take you to this other side of the screen while that Jealous Rage spills out. The force uninstall comes out, but Pedrito has a lot of resources here to play with.
Seeing some nice defense here from Wild, just playing it patient, but we get caught on the backdash. That Q grab just a bit too plus. And that's going to be a nice counter hit to JH. So that's going to be a little bit, just a tad bit of damage to close out that first game. Pedrito playing so insanely strong right now.
Just a little bit of damage. Here in Guilty Gear, here in Strive, that's just a little bit. Just a tiny bit of damage. Here we go. Nice deflect shield there from Wild, just trying to buy some time. And to be fair, I think Wild had a good answer after that deflect shield. But those Jealous Rage air normals from ABBA can be a titan to deal with, especially in the hands of someone like Pedrito. We're going here to game 2.
And that's something that, like, when you see, like, looking at those higher level ABBAs, just able to truly take advantage of a lot of those insanely powerful, you know, Morha Jealous Rage normals out here. Right now we're seeing Wild trying to weave in and out and get a nice counter hit. Gonna be going for that 6H routing. Gonna be able to get a little bit of plus 12 action out here. Going for that throw. Gonna be playing that strike throw game. Tries to go for it again. Able to get that DP, and we're able to actually route off it. Not gonna be enough to kill. A little bit of a wall stick too early. But right now, Wild's looking strong.
Strong stuff, man, in this game too. I know Medikid definitely loves seeing both these players do well. Right now, Pedrito does have that lead, but that counter hit 5H. Yeah, everyone's bursting that. If you're not bursting that one, you're wrong. I'm gonna keep it real. Pedrito gonna go ahead and RedRC after that Danzai. Smart uninstall there too. I think I just barely got a glimpse of the meter. I think we were about to get forced uninstalled, so Pedrito with some good timing there. Wild gonna build up some tension here as long as we don't spend too much of it on FD. We got 50 to spend, and it's gonna be a super, normally keeping yourself safe to get out of the corner, but this time it actually connected.
Yeah, taking advantage of that recovery on that Danzai, because you can't typically challenge it while it's actually out, just due to it having a little bit of that guard point. But Wild playing extremely smart out here, trying to keep Pedrito locked down. The second you're seeing Pedrito trying to move forward, claiming some space, you're seeing Wild immediately retreat until we can kind of confirm it out here. But nice defense out. That 6P gonna let us get started getting a little bit of a, try to go for a bit of a side swap. I'm not gonna find it. What we are gonna find is all of that Morha back up, forcing the burst out from Wild if we want to claim this round out here. Catching with a far slash, and that's going to be Wild claiming the game, tying us up 1-1.
Medikid, I started clenching there for a second, man, because I saw Wild trying to get that burst bait with the red RC. You know, trying to slow things down, trying to see if Pedrito wanted to spend the burst there. But of course, we didn't have the burst yet. And then I was like, oh no, if you're mashing that burst, it could probably sneak out. But not today. We're going to take that burst to the next game. Going to have a full meter, full burst meter because of that. Going into this game 3. Strong stuff. We're going back and forth, man. I think a lot of our sets have been like that tonight. Definitely privileged to always see people coming out and being so competitive, even in these net play brackets. Really appreciate y'all putting on your all, and you got to with a prize pool this big. Pedrito gonna get that burst from Wild.
Oh, you're seeing Wild with a nice burst out here, just managing Pedrito's resources for them. But then you're seeing, you know, this just taking advantage of that little Garu dog, a little bit of that spiral arrow out here. Get a nice little counter hit, but right now, just again, we're seeing Wild retreat out and then kind of re-engage the second it's saved, because if ABBA gets a nice little stray hit, it can also spell your doom, just to kind of how snowbally she is. Not gonna go for a cancel into uninstall, so we have no meter to play with. But that 2K key grab gonna be doing it for us, building that Morha right back up.
Gonna go right away though. Nice flip kick right there. Against players this good, man, you're only going to get one, if that, of those flip kicks. So Wild doing a good job of not over-representing it, bringing it out when it mattered. But then Pedrito able to get in with that install after. And man, these ABBA rounds, man, you got to be careful. They got a little bit of tension to go into that install. You play a little too recklessly when they're in baby mode, and they get that install. Any life total can be a threat. Right now, Pedrito here in the corner while doing some good offensive pressure to keep this ABBA back.
We're seeing some nice decisions here made by Pedrito. You know, again, while trying to keep ABBA back, trying to disengage, but then we saw Pedrito with a nice 5H, but nice reversal out here, going to be able to drain all of this Morha out. Never mind, Pedrito with a nice 5H hit, going to be keeping it going, keeping it moving. So getting right back to the action, full step on the gas, going to be going for that door super. And that's going to be Pedrito taking game 3. Looking to close it out.
Strong stuff. Shouts to Walter in the chat calling out the brains on this ABBA, giving some compliments out here. This character is definitely violent. But at this point in the game, at this point in the league, right, if you're going to be playing against players as good as Wild, getting this far in a bracket like this, then you're going to have to be playing smart. We're going here to this game 4. Wild trying to answer with that 2K. Pedrito getting punished on that low, but going to that burst, able to get that install, very active with those normals, trying to keep back this Giovanna on the ground to bait them into, what was that, a 2S right there, Medikit? Strong stuff from Pedrito.
We saw Wild try to go for that spiral arrow, just trying to take advantage of that -10 you are out of that uninstall, but Pedrito with a smartly placed 6P able to refresh all that Morha, but it might be going away as Wild able to secure a nice route out here, spending that super, going to be getting that hard knockdown off of that wall break, all that positive bonus too, but you just have to be careful out here. Wild, yep, going for that safe jump back and off, but that's the problem because then you get hit by that counter hit, and then that's gonna spell your doom out here as we're able to refresh it all. And we Donzai out here can RC, but we're not gonna be able to. This could spell the end.
Especially a super like that one, but Wild did have that answer with that jump back FD, but delaying the inevitable. Pedrito here, full burst going on to set point. Wild still active with those whiff punches. Pedrito maybe a little too active in this baby form. Abba, Wild trying to show you that. But hey, if you get that install and you get these counter hits, Pedrito said, hey, what was that whiff punish for? Because look, I got my meter, I got my damage, and now I got you through the wall.
Yeah, and this is insanely rough for Wild as well because you can't really escape, especially with that meter. And then we're going to see Pedrito just go for that door super, keep it simple, keep it safe, no drops allowed as we move forward with a quick little 3-1. Pedrito going to be moving forward into that top 24 winner side.
All right, guys. Now this is a top 8 winner side qualifier for the Jeekly 61. We're moving on through this bracket. Guys, reminder that Jeekly is a weekly online Guilty Gear Strive bracket cross-play for the North American region with a minimum $50 prize pool, free to enter. You can check it out any Friday. We also run beginner brackets bi-weekly on Saturdays, and we're also running a 4v4 team battle tournament series called the Jeek League. That a lot of information for you. Sorry about that one. Check me out on Twitter if you're interested in learning more about the Guilty Gear Strive events that we host here in the scene. I'm joined with Medikit. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling great. You know, the Jeekly team does a lot in the scene. It's lovely to see. But what else is lovely to see is Yoyomaster sending it through, dealing with the minions in a deft fashion, calling out Joe Brownie with a nice little 6P, locking us down in the corner. We just have to endure. We have to lock it down. But what a throw to end us off that first round. Joe Brownie going to be in a bit of a big burst deficit here. So beyond the fact that we can use that deflection, we can use that wild assault, we're just going to have to endure it out, not let Yoyomaster build up too much momentum. This corner pressure is going to be starting us off, but what a DP.
Yeah, enduring that Jacko offense to get a second to find the gap and get that reversal. You know, one thing I hear a lot from people playing against Bridget is they always forget she has that DP until she needs it most. Joe, gonna PRC to get into your face right here. Got you beat up with the bots on both sides. Gold burst comes out from Yo-Yo to try to get out of this corner situation. Oh, and Joe, I would have 6P'd that bot right there, or maybe press 2H, but Joe was ready with that defend command. Knew that layer was coming. Yo-Yo getting clipped by the end active frames of that 2D, and Joe Brownie is gonna get this round 2.
Evening up those rounds. Now it's Yoyomaster on the back foot with that burst deficit. We got two bots on the screen right now, but we got Yoyomaster trying to move out of their range, not quite able to. Tap Dust gonna find a spark, but we got no meter to cover it. So we're just not gonna be able to get a full confirm out here, letting Yoyomaster escape, getting set up with this Bridget pressure out here. Nice 2K 2D to call it the landing.
Oh, keeping yourself safe with that PRC. Yo-Yo doing that BRC drift back to keep themselves safe as well. A lot of good uses of Roman cancel here, and not just the red kind. This mechanic is very diverse, very defensive, technical. It's also, of course, very, very oppressive when used at the right time. Yo-Yo with the early break right there, or rather the slow break, I should say, showing you how strong that can be. Picking up off of the Roger Super, not enough to get that wall break after. In fact, Joe able to reverse the situation.
Never seen that burst come out, just trying to force it. Oh, nice. We throw that Yo-Yo baiting out that 6P out here. Now we're able to set up. We're able to escape. Now it's all Yoyomaster to make it happen. We're building up that 50 tension. Yet again, we RC it out. Do we block the 50-50? We do not. Yoyomaster clutching out the game, bringing us to the other corner, showing us the entire stage.
Also a really pretty stage. Now, you've been seeing this one since the game came out, but hey, man, if you don't mess with Lars Canyon, I don't know, this game ain't for you. We love our Lars Canyon out here, especially the TOs. Shout out to No Lag on that stage. Guys, Yo-Yo getting that first game. We're going to be going to our next one right here. Joe Brownie taking us down to that last hit, man. So we have the stuff. We just got to execute. Yo-Yo doing a good job of dancing around those bots, but that was an awesome jump normal right there from Joe to actually answer that roll arc.
Yeah, but right now what we're seeing is Yoyomaster just kind of playing around expertly, just baiting out those 6Ps, baiting out those counter hit options. Oh, nice. We cancel that that 6P into that kickstart my heart, so we're able to get that distance, get that positional advantage out here. Gonna be sending maybe that Roger out here. Nope, just taking it slow, going for that Roger dive, blocking it out here. But there is the tap. Dust can't block forever.
There's a few characters where that tap dust is really strong. It seems like it just kind of fits really well into their kit. And I think a sleeper character is this Bridget, able to represent that 5D every once in a while. You're always looking out for that multi-hit 2S. You know, maybe you're looking out for that Roger, Rock the Baby. But good 5D right there. As I'm finishing that sentence, man, Joe kind of running away with this round medikit. Able to get that 2D red RC confirmed. Goes for the reset here. Has to block every hit at this point, but you can't block those 2Ps. Good. Perfect there from Joe Brownie, man.
It's those 7 golden letters. Can be such a mental boost out here. Seeing Yoyomaster go for that meaty 6H. Now we're just trying to play it around. Again, you're seeing Yoyomaster be really active, canceling of those minion challenges into that Kickstart My Heart just to take that space out here. And that's something I really like to see, Jeek, is that we're being really aggressive, trying to not let Joe Brownie set up. You know, sometimes it might not work out for us, but you know, when we're able to get in and just be insanely impressive, it works so well. My God,
that Jacko route was so crazy right there too, medikit. Solid stuff there from Joe. I know, I mean, man, some of these offensive sequences from these Jacko players can be very unique. Joe showing you some awesome ones as well. Always has some cool combos to pull out of their back pocket. Full screen, getting that checkmate super. Gonna be a hard situation to get out of, but this is how you start. Using that Roger super, but the bot's still on the screen. 4P on the other side, confirms into that kick. Yo-Yo gonna keep that burst for the next round as YoKai, Joe Brownie, gets game 2.
With a very smart 6P, I mean, you're gonna see in this replay here, Joe sees that crossover and is without dive and just able to get that 6P to close it out. So we go into our game 3 here, and I mean, as a Bridget player yourself, Jeek, what are you liking about Yoyomaster? What do you think we need to see?
Well, I definitely love the way Yoyomaster gets on top of Joe Brownie. Bridget does have some cool ways to get past those bots. We have some pretty good air normals. Of course, we have some pretty far-reaching ground normals as well. Able to throw that 236S to navigate. And Yo-Yo just doing a good job of getting these jump-ins and delaying our, air stalling as well. You saw with the Roger dive just there. It's a very niche option, but if it can bait out an anti-air attempt, then it can pay off. YoKai, Joe Brownie spending that burst, getting Yo-Yo full screen, and now beating you around with the bots. Yo-Yo getting pretty late in this round without spending that burst. Bridget's kind of like the saver for that blue wall assault, depending on your playstyle. We'll have to see if Yo-Yo's keeping it for that here, as Brownie's doing some good blocking here. Amazing stuff, holding back this Bridget.
Holding back, we're just able to maneuver around. You're not seeing Yoyomaster get as many stray hits. Sending out that Roger, we just block it out, but we are a bit plus. But that quick little challenge, that quick little counter poke 5K, able to close it out. Again, Joe on that burst deficit, but I mean, we have a round on the board, so I mean, that's not too bad of a situation to be in.
Using that 5K, we saw mandsaar earlier in the bracket doing some good options with that 5K. Shouts to them. Yo-Yo is up here trying to qualify for this winner's side, and there's that 5D that we saw earlier, man. Holding a lot of damage, doing that jump JH, try to do the most damage you can. I think that's Bridget's most damaging jump normal. Of course, you know that JD, those JSs, those multi-hitters, but that single hit JH is probably the most damage you can do in that situation. Good 236 to answer the bot, by the way. Yo, you're doing a good job of that, but Joe just running up and getting these throws and the cross up. Oh my god, that was gonna be a wall break. But Yo-Yo was ready with that burst.
Yeah, I like the decision to go for that cross up because that forces Yoyomaster to cross cut if we do want to try to go for a reversal option. And with how ambiguous that cross up was, you know, it's just a really great decision.
Joe with that Hail Mary hero burst, but this is a character and a situation where it makes sense to do it, right? Just keep those bots. Only a couple more hits will take it, especially that air throw OTG. Great stuff there from Joe, man. And I think I saw a little bit of a micro dash before that 2K came out. I wonder if that was essential, right? I wonder if the distance was actually critical there and you had to do that micro dash. If I'm right, that is. I'm not sure. We'll have to see it again here in this replay. Yeah, I think I saw a little bit of a dash right there. Strong stuff there from Joe regardless. Getting that game 3 with that hero burst, it pays off. Sometimes it pays off, Medikit, and then we always remember that moment it pays off. And the next time we go gambling, we just remember when it works, huh?
You know, 99%, you know, quit right before they hit it big. Right now, Joe Brownie hit it big. It's only a hero burst if you lose. It built us so much momentum. Now we're up 2-1. Just need one more clean game to take it. But, I mean, Yoyomaster been fighting extremely hard, setting up that yo-yo yet again.
Doing a good job of canceling off of that bot with that 6-piece scooter. Spending that burst back. And now in Yo-Yo, we see some earlier bursts now, right? There was a previous round where we saved it for quite a bit, but we're seeing it a little bit earlier this time around. And I really like the Roger dives from Yo-Yo, and I'm just now realizing why they're really strong, because if you're able to answer that ground bot and then PRC drift forward, you're answering the bot while also slowing down the screen, trying to take advantage of that Roman cancel mechanic. But Joe gets that next pickup, closes out this round, and threatens set point.
Yeah, Yoyomaster just needs to find an answer. Right now, though, we're seeing Joe just lock it down again, get it going that full screen, trying to take some space. We're trying to reclaim some space out here, just playing it very patient out here. There's those frame traps, able to get another bot on field. Nice counter hit soccer kick gonna be coming out. It's gonna be a fair amount of damage. This super always does more than I think it does, and look at the red.
That is a crazy Superman. I do not want to get lifted up by Jacko, at least not in that context. Yo-Yo getting botted back here. Does have some burst to play with. Joe going to 5K you back. We're getting on top here with that 236S, the JH to pick up as well. But the moves are going so quick, it's hard to keep up. Joe gets that burst bait to close it out. And it's going to be moving on to that winner side top 8. Still qualifying for this winner side top 8. Big shouts to S Gifto. Big shouts to Ontario Strive. Just mid. Shouts to that local. Give him that shout out. Shouts to Ontario Strive. Classified doing very well at CEO just last weekend, getting that top 8 spot. Trying to get here in the top 8 at the Jeekly 61 and looking strong to do so as we got S Gifto here in the corner. Medikit looking pretty strong right here. What do you think S Gifto needs to do to get out of this corner, man?
Exactly what we saw. Just go for a quick little button into that slide head, get that hard knockdown. Gonna be seeing that Garuda come out, but what a reversal. Not gonna be enough to close it out. Just needs one more clean hit to do it, and with a quick little dash 5K whiff punish on the 2D, it's gonna be exactly what Classified needs here. Oh, that slide head gonna find its mark here. Now we're just trying to play a little bit of this neutral game. We're gonna be see Classified go for that quick little counter hit / confirm. That is a confirm you can only do if you cancel the first 2 hits of the counter hit / into that 2H. So amazing pickup as we're going through the wall here. Oh, what a throw out here, but Eskisto still has that burst. Might see it a bit offensively. It gets baited, and that's going to be Classified taking the first game of top 8 qualifiers.
And something I want to call out real quick too about Classified getting this burst bait is that sometimes we go for these burst baits. I'm guilty myself, and we see that the burst didn't come out right away. I let go, I press my jump normal, and then the burst just comes out late. Esgifto delaying that burst, but Classified committing to the bait. Still able to seal it out. And real quick, I want to shout out Dany Steele subscribing with that Prime over here on my Twitch channel. Appreciate you, homie. You don't need to do that. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for that support. The other way you can support, guys, is if you go ahead, check it out. ! YouTube in the chat. We're trying to make our way up through those upper YouTube echelons, bringing you Guilty Gear Strive VODs as much as we can for beginner brackets, open brackets like you see right now. And I'll, maybe I got a little something to announce later as well, but we'll see when we get there. Classified, dealing some damage here, has some tension to get some mix. It's going to be the backdash BRC to slow down the situation, punish that backdash, but Esgifto is playing Potemkin. Let me keep it real. This guy still has a chance with this 50 meter.
Still has a chance. I mean, we could see that get gigantic high, but right now we're seeing a quick little, oh, double RC. We're just spending the meter, making sure we can confirm it, but we saw that heat tackle come out, trying to use that armored approach option. Gifto on the back foot. Classified just been controlling this game.
Nice 2S right there from Esgifto. Can be a very good normal to zone back these ground-based characters, especially Classified, but able to get that rising JK counter hit. Strong stuff here from Classified. Deep counter hit coming in, threatening that throw. Esgifto, you get thrown once by this Giovanna, especially someone as strong as Classified, able to play that mind game, and then all of a sudden you're getting counter hit, close slash on every wake up. Able to move between strike and throw elegantly, but Esgifto gonna get that 2D counter hit pickup, and just like that, you're dead, homie. Strong stuff here from Gifto, confirming that counter hit into a round win.
That's definitely the strength of Potemkin and the strength of Gifto as well, is just being able to take those big counter hits and make them hurt. Because, you only need one, especially on a character like Potemkin who thrives off those big counter hits, those big grabs. Right now we're seeing Classified be really consistent with these /2 routes. Gonna be going for a no super wall break, just deciding to keep that 100 meter buff that Giovanna does get. Now we see the super come out, and this is not gonna be enough, just barely. We have that magic pixel, we have that little bit of a dream, but that 2K gonna be coming out, and that's Classified sitting on a 2-0 lead.
Man, solid stuff. Classified really trying to secure this top side spot. Trying to get onto that winner side. Looking really strong here. We've seen these Potemkins come in, piloted by some amazing players, Esgifto included, and they be dog walking people here in this Jeekly bracket. But Classified, very solid, very stable player, and even if you're playing against a character that isn't stable, Classified able to slow down the game, boil it down to that strike throw, but amazing pot buster in that block string from Esgifto to revert the situation. Classified with a good Abari to get out.
Yeah, we're just seeing Classified just try to wait it out, but Esgifto trying to change the story, goes for that Garuda, now it's Pot's game. You just have to guess out, just block it out, maybe go for a little bit of those fuzzy jumps options, but Classified weaving in and out, going for a nice little confirm here. Esgifto bursting out, nice little 5K, what a counter poke. Oh, goes to that BRC overhead, and we have the meter to make it kill. Especially on Potemkin, that is what we need. Classified on set point. Looking to take it 3-0 over Gifto. I mean, showing us why they were able to go so deep and go so far in that CEO.
And shout out to that money match, by the way. If you know, you know. Shouts to that money match. Here we go. Esgifto trying to get out of this geo pressure. We have the meter to play with on the other side, but it's going to have to be after this hard knockdown wake up medikit.
Yeah, and this is going to be a rough situation, but we end up getting counter hit. Burst is baited, and we have the positive bonus to make it happen, and that's going to be Classified. Moving on into our winner side, top 8 over Esgifto, a 3-0, but Esgifto playing extremely strong again.
Here we go. We're on the top 8 side here of the Jeekly 61, and these players are no strangers. Of course, you've been seeing Joe Brownie all night tonight. It's the Joe Brownie Jeekly, but SQ coming in, content creator, big time Strive player. Love seeing her show up. Didn't she get, I think she got top 8 at Combo Breaker, wasn't it? Strong stuff here from SQ, also recently winning that Unica Invitational hosted by Arc System Works and Team Arc Creators as well. So we're going to be going back and forth here. Probably just going to see the Ramlethal, but we may see some other Valentines.
Yeah, we've definitely been, I believe as well, SQ did kind of cycle through that Ramlethal, that Alpha, and that Unica on that J and R bracket as well, just kind of going through the wheel. Starting off here pretty strong though. SQ has 100 meter to play with, but Joe just keeping us locked down. That YRC is not going to find the mark. Backdash gets caught out by that minion. Joe Brownie starting off here extremely strong, but that JH gonna do exactly what we need to, which is just get us into this corner, get us into a position where we try to press Joe Brownie, put us in through that wall. No Mortal Botto, just gonna keep that meter out here. Gonna be going for, oh, I was gonna say maybe a PRC sword throw. Right now what we're seeing is a nice PRC. It tries to 5P it. Joe Brownie setting up all of those minions. There, that YRC finds its mark. And a nice little crossover. Joe Brownie choosing to save the burst. No heroes in the building today.
No heroes today, Medikit. Only vigilantes getting those bots out. SQ very patient as Joe Brownie spends that attack, defend command, excuse me. SQ gets that pickup on that rock, man. We're getting a little bit of a hard knockdown, carrying you to the corner with that H sword. You did get the cross-up hit, but Joe was ready with that burst after. Solid call out there from SQ with that far slash. She's such a goat, by the way, with the far slash. Daro confirms, and no way that wall splat from downtown. SQ, awesome stuff from her.
That actually wall stick from so far away. We mailed Joe Brownie to the other side of the stage. Right now, SQ just trying to jump around, avoid the minions, because I mean, we've seen Joe Brownie put SQ on the back foot, dealing with them. But right now, SQ's just been weaving in and out wonderfully, using those large Ramlethal buttons with the swords to close out that first game.
Strong stuff. Joe Brownie did have the start there too, but SQ buckled down, said, hold on, I'm on the ArcSys stream. All right, I'll lock in here a bit. Got to show off for the fans at home. Both these players very strong here in this online scene. SQ gets the first game of this set, but it only is just beginning as we're moving through this top 8. Starting off this top 8, Medikit, I've been having fun so far.
I've been having fun as well, and everybody at home, everybody in the chat, if you aren't locked in to the Guilty Gear Strive online net play scene, there's so many wonderful brackets, wonderful events ran by this community. It'd be a shame not to check them out. If you have some time, take a look. And I mean, right now you can see more Guilty Gear action. That would wonderful Guilty Gear action that we're seeing SQ and Joe Brownie put on, as we're going to be getting potentially set through that wall out here, just being locked down by these minions. Tab Dust not going to find its mark. SQ has amazing defense, but you can't block forever. Joe Brownie taking round 1.
Solid stuff. I want to give some quick shouts to the community. First off, Bad Moon in here in the chat. What's going on, Lee? Guys, shout outs to Bad Moon. They're hosting an event coming up. It's just next week. Is it this weekend, Bad Moon? I'm going to get it messed up. Bad Moon, drop the details for your event. You're holding a big offline coming up just very soon. Big content creator in the scene, TO as well. Shout outs to Lee, shout outs to Bad Moon and everything they do. And Tasker Brian also with a fat raid just in time for Joe Brownie to get this hard knockdown right here off the driver. Strong stuff. We're going back and forth here. Last time Joe was able to get that first round, but this time it's going to be SQ fighting back. And real quick, Batman, June 28th, 29th, they're going to drop the start.gg. Guys, if you're interested, check it over here in that Twitch chat. Twitch.tv/HG. Joe Brownie trying to solid things out over here. SQ does have her burst. Very patient with it though, Medikit.
Very patient indeed, but right now we also might see a little bit of that offensive burst, but no, because Joe Brownie with a well-placed JD Fireball going to be claiming that second game, tying us up 1-1. Ladies and gentlemen, we had a game in our hands.
Solid stuff, man. And I was going to keep it real, you know, both strong players here on the screen, but I'm just going by the numbers, going by what we'd expect. Joe Brownie may be somewhat of an underdog, but that's something that's kind of cool about Guilty Gear Strive from that spectator perspective, right? This game is volatile, man. sometimes things just don't go your way if your opponent wakes up on the right side of the bed that day. So you have to be fully locked in for the entire set, or else you're going to be giving away that upset. Joe Brownie able to get that game here, but SQ said, hey, no upsets today. I'm going to put this Jacko in the corner and get her burst away.
I want to do a quick, I see in the Arxis channel, quick raid from Backpack. Thank you so much, Backpack. Another Guilty Gear Strive, you know, TO holding it down also on Fridays with their own Backpack Brawl. Right now, Joe Brownie holding it down, forcing that burst to come out from SQ. What a counter hit, 5H. PRC making the route true. Gonna be getting a nice wall break. There's not enough meter to go for that Mortabato, letting Joe Brownie have a little bit of time to play with that 100 meter, but that throw PRC is not gonna let us do anything, and that's going to be Joe Brownie put on the back foot. SQ taking that first round.
Strong stuff, man. Real quick, don't want to give a second shout out to Backpack Brawl, man. Running that tournament, streaming those top 8, 6 p.m. EST every Friday. You got to check them out. You got to check out his co-com as well. Patriarch Panda running that Pandemonium in the EU bracket. So you're here. What time is it for you EUers? It's like 6 a.m. for y'all right now. I don't know my time zones. If you're here watching, you're having a Guilty Gear Strive for breakfast, and you play an EU bracket, shouts my boy Patriarch Panda running that Pandemonium. Joe Brownie running SQ down the screen, taking her for a walk, saying this stage is so beautiful, we're going to see every corner of it.
Yeah, using that Season 4 dash cancel off of that soccer kick, and what a shimmy out, forcing it, as well as talking about earlier on stream with Joe Brownie on stream, just really smart with the shimmies, really smart placements of, you know, really making the opponent want to try to throw.
Bad Moon got me with that link, guys. Sandia Showdown. It's an Albuquerque, New Mexico regional. They dropped the link in my chat over here. Looks like you can still register, and it's not just Strive. They got other games out here too. I'll shout the Arxis ones. They also got Under Night Inburst. Shouts to the Under Night Inburst scene, man. A lot of other fighting games as well. Awesome that we're putting on these offline events. Offline is where it's at. SQ trying to navigate these bots, man. Joe doing a good job of putting you through this bullet hell. Trying to get a connection right there with that 5K. SQ building up this tension, threatening that throw right there, trying to see if Joe wanted to go for a delay tech, but no, we're just going to run you down with the close slash, get the next pickup, and then hard knock you down with that Mortabato.
Yeah, and this is looking particularly deadly for Joe, but able to block it out, use that deflection, trying to push SQ away. We don't have any swords, so we need to be a bit careful using those quick normals, just running Joe down. Nice YRC out there. There's the sword come back. There's another YRC on the side of Joe Brownie. We're just trying to make anything happen. That 2D comes out. There's that burst.
Oh, yep, that jump in was way too deep. SQ was ready for that one, or at least ready to react. Getting that 6P, weaving it onto that Jacko, and getting this game 3. SQ having this 2-1 lead. Strong stuff here. But Joe, man, bringing her down to these last interactions. Very strong play from both of our players. And I wouldn't be, you know, I'm always happy to see these close games, especially when we're already all the way up here on this winner side of top 8, going back and forth. Joe definitely wants it, but does SQ want it more? We'll have to see.
Always hungry for a game 5. I know Joe can do it, just needs to take one more game to get us to that point. Quick little 5K trying to call out any of those slower options Ram might represent on that round start, and now we're just locking SQ down, just calling back that minion, saving a little bit of that gauge, not too much though, just make sure we can keep attacking, keep us plus, setting up another minion, going for that low, a smart choice out here, because now we can go for that quick little suplex. Getting us a lap positive bonus, that hard knockdown, another minion setup. It's looking rough.
Nice punish there on the Daro though. Joe lining it up and taking that round. Yeah, you got to be careful with that special move. SQ very good at confirming it, especially off of /counter hits and such. Oh man, JH doing what JH does best, hitting you from the other side of the screen. Joe able to get in though to get a punish on that. I think it was an H sword we saw from SQ there just a moment ago, and she's very active at fighting these bots back, but Joe able to still get these normal hits in, able to get that 5D pickup, not able to get a conversion, but we're beating you down in the corner. We're taking away your HP, whether we're hitting you or whether we're chipping you out, and it pays off as Joe Brownie brings us to this game 5.
Game 5, you know, I called it, I prophesized it. Joe Brownie taking us to that game 5. It's such a close set. Both players fighting their heart out, trying to push their characters to the limits. Gonna have to see, you know, as you mentioned before, who just wants it more.
These Valentines are beating it up out here. Arxis, I'm sorry. Are they sisters? I think of Elfelt and Ramlethal as sisters. Is Jacko also? Because they're all clones, right? Educate me.
I believe I believe.
Oh, you don't know either,
Elfelt
Medikit?
and Ram are clones of Arya, but I believe Jacko might be a bit different.
She definitely is a little different in how she plays with these bots. Shouts in my Twitch chat said yesn't, and then the Mocha says, well, yes, unless no. Anyways, y'all, appreciate that little bit of a detour right here. We're watching some high-level Guilty Gear Strive. Some of the best players in the scene. SQ trying to make her way through this winner side top 8. Joe showing us with a little bit of a scramble pick, right? This Jacko. We don't get to see too many high-level Jackos here in the scene very often, man. Of course, you got your boy Nitro picking up that Leo side quest, though. Joe Brownie, definitely one of the last remainers out here on this Jacko. SQ pulling out the counterplay from the books, but the back throw pays off. We're here on set point, Medikit.
Yeah, and what a Jacko to be one of the last, one of the, you know, the fewer Jackos remaining. I mean, Joe Brownie making a strong case as to why you should stick with the character, why you should just kind of keep it pushing, because, you know, we're fighting Ramlethal, we're fighting a player as established and as accomplished as SQ, and really making her fight for it.
Man, those air H sword combos hurt, bro. Joe Brownie getting sent to the wall in style. Oh, Medikit, I think this hits.
It hits indeed. This is going to be exactly what we need to get started, because we have the time to pull out the minion. We throw it out. There's that throw yet again. Get that second minion out. But the Mortabato finds its mark. SQ successfully cross-cutting it to bring us to a double Luigi final game, final round.
SQ saying, hey, maybe it was me that wanted it more. Of course, we're just at the beginning of this round. Joe does have that burst advantage, but SQ does have that pressure advantage, has that 50 tension, was doing some good job with some backdashes. Great stuff. SQ does know her counterplay against this Jacko. You got to show this character some respect. Like I said, there's some very good players that play her.
Setting up those minions, that risk slowly but surely building up, especially with another minion coming out. We have enough meter going for that suplex, going for that Jacko buster, seeing that burst build back on SQ's side. So Joe Brownie has to open SQ up at minimum of twice out here, unless we can bait that burst. We have 50 tension to play with, so we can kind of throw stuff out, make it safe. SQ in danger. We need to make something happen, but we're getting locked out. We just can't get in. It's a wall.
It's a wall indeed. Number 1, number 2, number 3 coming out possibly soon. SQ able to get in, goes for a very confident gold burst. Hey, that's the best time to use it at this point. Look at your HP. That was a very smart gold burst from SQ. Has 100 tension, able to get that PRC with the S sword, but Joe Brownie with the air dash out of the corner, and a very close set from both of our players is going to move on that winner side.
It's the Jeekly 61. We're in our second match of winner side top 8. We got RedIAmNot on that good old Goldlewis. We here got Classified coming back on stream for that Giovanna. Again, shout out to that CEO money match. I just saw the Twitter clips. It looked pretty fun. Right now we're seeing Classified cook up, put Red on the wall, send Red through the wall. I'm seeing a lot of red in that health bar because it's vanishing.
Oh man, Classified, very strong, very explosive. Definitely a very explosive Giovanna. Very strong player. Able to make a Goldlewis
lose that much HP. Something to wear in your sleeve. But right now we're getting tossed around, man. We're trying to build back up that security. Maybe a whiff BT, one too many. Classified able to get this punish, and in fact a wall break, hard knockdown. Cool route there from Classified. One BT too many. Medikit, this is what you get.
Yeah, you got to be careful, especially with a longer recovery those BTs do have. See Classified just playing a little bit of stagger game, and that's kind of risky. But we're able to be safe out here. We land after that instant overhead, get a nice little throw. We have no meter to try to force our way out. Meanwhile, Classified building up that meter, going for a little bit of that overhead, but what a 6P out.
Oh, unfortunately didn't get that last BT for the OTG. I'm not sure if we could have went for that one. I'm not a Goldlewis player, but we were able to get it with the minigun regardless. So we're evened up in the rounds. I was going to say the burst, but Classified was ready with that one early. You can kind of afford to do that. You're probably going to build it up in time when you're ready for an orange wild assault confirmed later in the round. If it comes to that, Red trying to get out of the corner with this 2S, very active with the 5K, but Classified with a whiff punish throw.
Oh, what a press out here. Going to translate into a wall break. We're churning the butter. Going to be getting the maximum level of that, sending up the drones, sending up Classified through the wall. We got max security, we got that positive bonus, but we got Classified with a nice backdash BRC avoiding all of that. But what else do we have? More drones.
Unfortunately couldn't get that 2H to turn into a combo after, but hey, delaying the inevitable. RedIAmNot able to get this first game on the board. But we got down there to the very last round. Guys, I want to shout out some follows real quick. Shouts to Corval do Nubus. Please don't tell me that's like something bad. But Mocha and Tropical Edge, guys, thank you all for those follows. Big shout outs to y'all. Because of that one, we just broke our 1,600 follower goal over on twitch.tv/itsgeek. What was it? Start from the bottom, now we're here or whatever. We're here in winter semifinals. RedIAmNot trying to get something started. Classified going to get that burst away from you after that counter hit.
Oh, tries to challenge it out, tries to get rid of that drone, but RedIAmNot just really active, really smart with those defensive options, just choosing to play it a bit patient. Oh, but what a throw on the behemoth. Classified smart, knowing where those gaps are, but RedIAmNot also smart, hitting that IB, able to punish that little bit of a block string ender that's going to translate into a 1 round.
Whew. That system, man. I'm down with it. Classified may not be. Red trying to block you out of this corner. 2P. Man, that 2P, that Goldlewis 2P, bro. I'll stop. If you guys watched the Jeekly before, you know how much I talk about that button. But here we go. We're getting on top of Classified. We got that 50 tension. We're going to spend on that backdash BRC. And man, that double JP always hits, it feels like.
It's such a strong option. I personally, I've learned a lot about it. You know, Wild's been kind of showing me the ropes. Right now, we're seeing Classified cook up, going to be getting a nice confirm off of that counter hit 2D, deciding to keep it the corner presence, but there's the wall break coming out. We have the super, we have the low scaling to make it hurt. Going to be tying up the rounds here.
Now, this one ain't a first to 7. This one's a first to 3. RedIAmNot does have that game lead so far. Great IBFDs, by the way, on this Geopressure. Tried to go for the burst bait and in fact kept it kind of safe after with the 5P. Strong stuff. And real quick, my nickname is not a bad word, it's just Portuguese for Big Crow. Excuse my ignorance, friend. That's a cool name then. Corvaldo Nubus. Hopefully I'm showing you respect and saying it correctly. Appreciate that for that follow. Classified getting in here. Has Red in the corner, but an amazing backdash to fight back. And now we're scooping you back and turning into a wall break on the other side. Medikit, that's going to be game 2.
Goldlewis, such an explosive character. I mean, it's the same situation with Potemkin, where, you know, the second you're able to get that one hit, that one opening, it could just spell the end for most characters outside of that, you know, that high HP bracket. It's right here, seeing Classified on the back foot, down 2-0, needing to find an answer, looking to get, you know, I believe revenge for that money match.
we gotta stop bringing it up, man. It's fun. I'm sorry, it's fun. I don't even know the lore. I just saw the Twitter clips. Anyways, here we go. Red gonna burst you back. Shouts to Twitter, by the way. You can follow Medikit and I over on that site, see what tournaments we're hosting. Medikit just helped out Kensei earlier in the week with their birthday tournament, running that Sinister 7 Strive Utopia. Strong stuff. You probably wouldn't have seen RedIAmNot on the Goldlewis in that bracket. Classified, trying to get something started. Nice counter hit 5H here.
Oh, nice confirm. Gonna be going for that enhanced DP, going for a little bit of that meter, a little bit of that damage. Oh, nice YRC out, so we don't actually have to guess out. We're able to get it going here. We have no security, but what a 6P, knowing that that was going to cross over. It's going to translate into that round victory here for Classified, trying to break out the brooms, trying to get that reverse sweep.
Trying to get it going out here, man. Strong stuff. Look at that damage, bro. Red is down around here. Classified was able to get things started, but that White Wild Assault to get in. We have that burst on the other side. Yeah, I would have been surprised if we would have seen it, let alone Red not giving you the chance. Killing that Giovanna, spending that overdrive, putting us here on set point.
Oh, seeing Red with a really smart, well-placed backdash, able to escape, but Classified putting us back in that corner almost immediately. Spending burst out just to keep the pressure going, but right now we're looking at, we got burst. Yep, there it is. We say we got burst out on the side of it, just sending out that drone, trying to cover the space, cover the neutral. Oh, goes for that, finds that charge, dust. Wall break, gonna be getting some meter back, and that's Classified taking a game, putting a point on the board again, chat. Break out the brooms.
Strong stuff, man. Both of our players going back and forths in those rounds. Classified getting a game here on the board. Red saying, okay, I like what I'm seeing here.
I mean, I'm liking what I'm seeing as well. Classified trying to put more points on the board. Nice blocked gold burst out, denying that positive bonus, but that counter hit Garu Dog backdashing, trying to not have to deal with that burst out.
Oh man, that's violent, Medikit. A lot of damage right there, homie. Medikit, you can't get hit by that coffin like that. Classified answering with their life here. RedIAmNot back on set point.
Oh, and might quickly be in winners finals here. Is look at the damage. Just needs one more clean interaction. Classified blocking it out. And there it is. RedIAmNot is going to go forward to meet Joe Brownie in winners finals of the Jeekly 61. Almost said 51. We are here in our first losers side top 8 match here. We got Dany L. Maza on that Kai, recently winning that Kensei Strive Utopia bracket. But as well on that right side of the screen here, we got that Hee Ho, we got that Millia. You've seen previously on stream cook up, cutting through that loser side to get to this position, trying to play, again, that really evasive Millia until we can find that hit, and then just kind of start that blender.
Gonna go for that winger super to get this hard knockdown. Strong stuff, man. We've been seeing Hee Ho all night tonight. If you're just clicking in, you're trying to learn some more Millia, you gotta watch some of Hee Ho's previous matches in this very tournament, if not some of the others that they've been in. Exclamation point YouTube in the chat can show you all of our VODs, guys. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm just gonna be completely honest with the shilling here. Every sub counts. I really appreciate y'all if you can go ahead and show us some love there. Show Hee Ho some love. Dany right now beating us up, has that shock state applied. Amazing defense, but you can't block forever. Gets opened up there for a second with a hero burst Medikit and that counter hit to follow it up. It's gonna pay off here for Dany, at least in terms of breaking this wall.
Hey, it's only a hero burst if you lose. Hee Ho has one more chance, but it's looking insanely strong for Dany right now. Oh, but we need to find that hit, and it is a hero burst. The cape's on. Hee Ho clutching it out on that 1 HP. Dany in such a bad spot burst-wise.
Got the shock state applied. Good defense from both of our players, man. I'm gonna keep it real. Both of our players been doing a good job of holding that up back, that down back. Dany's got the tension built up first, but amazing navigation there from Hee Ho, getting that counter hit JH. Dany here in the corner. Hee Ho did just get their burst back, but Dany is the master burst baiter, man. He always knows when you're going to press that burst, use that mechanic, and he's ready to RC and take it from you.
Oh, but Hee Ho on lock with that 6P, with that Artemis, setting out that disc yet again. Over that same time, just waiting it out in case Dany wanted to try to burst, wanted to try to do anything. The tap dust going to find its mark, tying up those rounds. Now it's Hee Ho on the back foot with a bit over half of that burst bar. Right now we're going to see if Dany is able to kind of just contain Millia, because what we've seen a lot of times, Jeek, is like we'll get to the position in the corner and Hee Ho's just able to escape by using those 2 air dashes that Millia does have, by using that JD, by using that Capel, using that Turbo Fall. A lot of these really evasive movement options.
Yeah, at least horizontally, very quick to move around the screen and also get pickups and confirms. But Dany showing you, hey, if you're on the ground and you're eating the front end of my close slash, homie, then you're going to be in for a world of hurt. Some ill spacing right there gives Hee Ho another chance to get out. Keeps that PRC safe with 6P. But did you see Dany with that FD cancel? I think it was at least on that jump normal. Pays off. Hee Ho in the corner with the Hail Mary Iron Savior. Getting in with that S disc PRC. Not going to be enough to kill Medikit, but we got to reset. We're going for the lane drops right here. The lane droptimals, I should say.
Oh, not enough. Dany has burst. We can try to force the situation out, but what a far slash. Catching what I believe was maybe a backdash, or either way out, just caught out Dany, clutching up the first game here, and that was only the first game. This game is going so fast.
Strong stuff, man. And what I meant to say was lane resets, by the way. Drops a little, maybe a negative connotation. I meant to say reset. Trying to give a compliment out here. Anyways, Hee Ho getting that first game. Medikit, I've been loving what I'm seeing so far, man. Of course, you've probably seen a lot of both of these players here in the online scene. I'm gonna be real, I don't know how much I see them actually play each other now that I really think about it. Of course, probably a lot off stream as much as these players enter online brackets. Hee Ho getting this Artemis to break the wall.
Yeah, choosing to save that meter for when we need it, maybe on a YRC. It's definitely a lot of the considerations you have to have when looking at how to spend that meter is, do I save it in case, you know, I need it defensively? Because right now, I mean, Hee Ho's able to, you know, spend that meter we did get by reversing the situation, putting Dany back through that wall again. Now we need to be careful because we're waiting for that positive boost to come back, but holy, what an Artemis.
Man. Sometimes we just be hitting those buttons, man. It feels good when they hit. Shouts to S Gifto in the chat, said backwards Mega Fist. Exactly. Exactly. Strong stuff right there. But Dany gonna get this knockdown after that stun dipper. Dire Cloud to put that shock state on you, put you on that little bit of a timer, at least in terms of Dany gets another hit in, but not this time. I like that burst. Hey, you don't want to give away that positive bonus to the Millia, and you got to go ahead and spend it soon. You are down that round. You need to get some resources back here. Hee Ho with a good up back, trying to get out of this corner against Dany, and an amazing tech. Dude, the defense from both these players in this set has been phenomenal.
It's been amazing to see. Right now we're seeing Hee Ho just try to control that neutral, try to control, you know, when trying going on their terms. But right now, Dany just locking it down. You're seeing some amazing containment out here, just backing up, trying to let Millia land and then punish it. With some really on point, really smart 6Bs and defensive button presses here from Hee Ho.
Oh, Hee Ho with a very confident burst right there. We got to see what they have cooking. Dany keeping it cool here, still has a bit of HP in his back pocket. Hee Ho has to be very careful. I think we can afford to get chipped maybe one more time, but not very much more. And with the threat of that DP from Dany, you got to be careful about that option as well. I mean, darn, at this point we do have the burst saved up. Dany with 50 tension and burst, but no, it's the double dash JH. Shoutouts to Mario Kart. Hee Ho is gonna get game 2.
Dany not able to spend that burst, just tried to backdash. Hee Ho just, you know, chasing it out, hitting that really deep JH, as you're going to see on that replay as well.
Can I get some bonus points for that double dash? Shouts to Mario Kart, by the way.
You get 5 bonus medikit points.
Thank you. I'll have to cash those in later. Good counter hit closeouts to start this round off, and an immediate burst bait with that Capel. Strong stuff here from Hee Ho. Goes for the reset. Dany doesn't want to hold those any longer. Was ready with the Vapor Thrust.
Oh, but Hee Ho ready to respond to that far slash with a 6P. Amazing button press out here, but again, Dany just locking down. PRCs the throw attempt. We're keeping it safe out here. And that's one fact about Kai as well, if you didn't know, is if you instant block the dire class, instead of the 214S, you can indeed get a nice little 2K 2D punish, leading to the situation here where Hee Ho's immediately on the advantage here, running all of that mix. The YoKai gets baited out. That's going to be Hee Ho on set point to take it over Dany 3-0. Just needs one more round.
You know, dare I say, this would probably be an upset. At least in this online scene, you definitely see Dany very consistently make it to these top 4 spots. But right now, Hee Ho looking like we're threatening the sweep. Dany with some good adaptations in these later rounds, but maybe a round or a game or two too late. We're fighting out of this corner. That heavy stun edge was a decent option, but Hee Ho reacted and called it out there for a moment. Great DP from Dany, not holding those fake setups.
Oh, this counter hit 6P RC, so getting that distance, getting that space, getting the side swap. We're actually going to be using Blue Wild Assault to keep the screen, not return to neutral with that wall break, but Dany taking advantage of that, now putting us in the corner, putting Hee Ho in the corner, getting a nice close slash hit. No meter to get the kill, however, Hee Ho has a chance, but the JS going to seal the deal, dealing with that hair car. Dany still alive.
And Dany taking the words out of our mouth with that last round, man. Doing a good job of not falling to that Hail Mary Hail car. Get on top of you with Foudre. Great defense there from Hee Ho. I was saying it earlier in the stream, some of these characters love using 5D, especially Dany here on this Kai. Gonna confirm to that RTL. Hee Ho, without a chance to burst because of that early overdrive cancel, gets a wall break, the boot as well, puts Hee Ho in a pretty bad spot. And dude, we gave Classified the compliment earlier. I gotta give it to Dany as well. If you're gonna go for the burst bait, you may as well commit, and it pays off here for Dany and Maza getting their first game on the board.
And I mean, we might have to break out the brooms again, get out the dustpan. You know, Dany might be looking to try to get that reverse sweep. Hee Ho has another game to kind of get some data again, because we were up 2-0. So we're able to kind of, you know, take a breath, chill out for a second, try to counter adapt, because we have that luxury, we have that time.
Big shouts to Gagnon for a sub with that prime over in the twitch.tv/hgeek. Appreciate you very much, my man. Shouts, throwback shout to Dany Steele for also giving that subscription as well, guys. Really appreciate that support y'all show. I wouldn't be able to do cool stuff like this if it wasn't for y'all showing up, entering these brackets, hanging out in the Twitch chat, and also Arxis and Team Art creators for giving us support when they can. Dany right now, appreciative of that as well. Appreciative of this bracket as we take this first round very convincingly.
Very convincingly indeed. I mean, it looks like Dany's playing like a different player right now, just locked in, just locking down Millia, not getting caught out by a lot of these stray hits. You know, Hee Ho able to find one now, but again, we're just kind of blocking it out. We're playing a lot more patient, trying to punish the landing, you know, as opposed to, you don't really want to chase Millia in the air because it's very hard to do.
Oh my lord, nice counter hit 2D right there, calling out that run up 6P from Hee Ho. Dany looking really solid right here. With the PRC, keeps yourself safe, but not too long, because Dany was ready with his own on the back foot. Hee Ho has burst here. Will they get a chance to spend it this time, or is Dany going to get another bait? It'll be his third burst bait in this set. Hee Ho not going to give it to him. Dany going to get up with that old stun dipper. I won't call it by its colloquial name. I'm playing ball out here. Dany taking that game 4.
We're in another game 5 situation, chat. I know you're hungry for these close matches. Dany going to be giving them to us, closing it out, trying to get that reverse sweep yet again. Bringing out those brooms, bringing out those dustpans, trying to make quick work of Millia. Hee Ho, again, had that time, has that data. You know, just needs to try to counter adapt, trying to figure out where the cracks in the armor are.
Hee Ho had to team kill 2 opponents to get to this point, by the way. Had to beat Wild and then had to beat Tenack. So you can't take out your homies and then go down to Mr. Maza out here. You gotta carry the torch for Team Factor, for SJS, for all the homies back home. Dany right now trying to get out of this corner with that burst. Perfect timing on the stun dipper, able to get that red RC to keep it safe, but Hee Ho with that follow-up 6P is going to make you hurt for it.
Uses that compel to get that wall break out here. Nice tech, we return to neutral. Dany has to find another hit. That far slash gonna do it. We PRC the throw attempt. And there's that 5k bringing us to Hee Ho. Set point. Dany has one more round to try to figure out how to respond.
Daniel Maza getting 2 games here, making Hee Ho sweat a little. Forced out that gamer lean from this DMVA Millia player. Dany.
That 45-degree angle.
Yeah, 45 degrees. We got the back arch. The neck has no support right now, by the way. 6P red RC coming out. Look at oh my lord, man. Millia got sauce when she gets those hits like that, especially in a pilot like Hee Ho's hands.
Oh, but there's that counter hit 6P RTL confirming that hard knockdown on the side of Dany Maza. That burst slowly coming back with the help of that positive bonus out here. Do not burst on the 6k. I've seen too many baits from that.
Oh my god, Hee Ho flicking the FD, trying to bait that DP that Dany's been representing a lot, but goes for the air DP. Dany does have 50 tension to play with as well, can keep themselves safe with a YRC or that stun dipper. Late cancel, PRC, back throw. We are on game 5, last round here on the loser side of the Jeekly, guys. Neither of these players want to go home in the face of this bracket, being on that ArcSys stream. We got to see who's going to take it here in this very last round.
Oh, but nice counter hit out. Gonna be going forward, just trying to... Dany just throwing out those DPs. Represent them, maybe not so much early, but definitely often at this point. Dealing a ton of damage. One more clean hit will do it. Hee Ho needs to play very clean here. We have that burst miraging through that stun edge. Again, we're just trying to take advantage of it. Burst gets baited. Dany breaking out the broom, reverse sweeping game 5, last round.
It's that birthday train, y'all. What is with these Goldlewises in that birthday train? I'm not necessarily complaining. Lasagna Slayer. Look at these footsies, bro. That's the most footsies you're gonna get here in Guilty Gear Strive, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and date the VOD. This is season 4 Guilty Gear Strive. You know what that means, right? That means that the big bodies are rampant, and we got some amazing players piloting them as well. Gifto, unfortunately going down earlier in the bracket, but made that run up all the way on the loser side to get on this top 8 spot. But Lasagna Slayer, one of the Goldlewises out here playing that orange color, going to get this hard knockdown. Gifto has tension to play with. We got to see if a Hail Mary is going to come out on a Pop Buster or some well-maneuvered Mega Fist. Medikit, you see a lot of Lasagna Slayer as this throw is coming out. What do you think about this matchup?
Honestly, I think it's going to be insanely snowbally. I feel like the second one person gets in, it's going to be really rough for that person to come out, because, you know, neither, I mean, Goldlewis has that 2P, but like Potemkin doesn't have a great, amazing mash options, and I don't believe besides that 2P, Goldlewis does either. So again, it's going to be, I think, whoever can really get started first.
Oh my, wait, oh my god. All right, in hindsight, yeah, I guess, but man, I did not expect that flick on the minigun. Great stuff from Gifto. Holy moly, what an option. I mean, I'm just speechless right now. We're getting thrown around. Gifto does have that meter advantage. It looks like it's going to be that counter hit to break the wall. Look at the damage with Kai as well. We're crushing guts out here with that routing. Only needs one more hit to take this round. The YRC gets blocked, trying to block that burst with 5P as well. But Medikit, I don't think that we were active enough on that white wall assault to get the iframes in time, I suppose.
Yeah, that Gigantic Kai just calling out that startup, because I mean, you saw the start of that animation in that super flash, just not fast enough on the draw, not quick enough on the draw to get it out by the time those infill frames would have been active.
Solid stuff right there, man. Solid stuff, man. These big bodies making the screen shake. Potemkin does a slide head, and my fans start kicking on. I can barely handle it. Nah, I'm kidding. We're doing all right out here. Lasagna getting checked by that 5P. Gifto already having you in the corner at the start of this round.
Yeah, and that's a rough spot to be in, especially against Potemkin, so I respect the decision. Just a white wall assault out. Try to get that corner switch. Gifto back to the wall, just slowly moving forward ever so slowly. Just trying to use that Hammerfall armor, that Hammerfall break armor, but that 2D counter hit gonna be exactly what we're looking for out here. 2H dropping, but it's A-okay.
Man, using that blue wild assault as a combo extender. Oh, the PRC keeping it safe. Lasagna Slayer does get on the wall here and does get their burst back. They would have gotten it eventually, but that routing means they probably got it a teeny bit earlier, but Skipto ain't crying about that one because we're getting this first round of game 2.
Yeah, oh! The charged white wall assault triggering the armor on that Hammerfall, letting Gifto continue this pressure out here, and it's so rough to deal with, especially with that you have that PRC off of that Potemkin Buster, so when you guess correctly, when you do make that decision, you know, Pot has the ability to kind of cover himself, keep himself safe, and that's where you saw where that heat knuckle coming through. Oh, there's that drone coming out. A little bit of a tippy tap with that 2K, but nice counter hit out here. Putting Gifto back to the wall yet again. Deflection comes out, but we PRC it. And there it is, that OTG gonna barely not be enough, and what a defensive pot buster, just throwing it out, no fear.
No fear indeed. Skipto said, I have just enough HP to not be dead, which means you gotta look out for this SPD, homie. Good stuff right there. Gifto going up 2-1. Uh-oh, so far in this matchup. Guys, if I could please get your support in claiming some of these Matcherino codes. I almost did the Jeekly patented math Chirino. Guys, claim some of these Matcherino codes. Only 20 remaining. Every 4 codes you claim adds $1 to the pot. And as you can see, we're already up to $164. If we make it to 200, that'll extend the prize split to 4th place. So if you're eyeing 4th place, you better be talking to your Twitch chat right now. But that's all I'll say about that. Appreciate the support regardless. Skifto getting a counter hit. Lasagna Slayer spending that burst.
Oh, uses that minigun to break that Hammerfall armor and let that Skyfish kind of do what he needs to do. I like the decision making I'm seeing on display here. But Skifto PRCing that Hammerfall just to take that corner yet again. Oh, what a 5P mash out here. Gonna be RedIAmNot that heat tackle. Just kind of go down here. Another nice Skyfish. Burn it down. We're seeing so many side swaps here. Nice counter hit routing is not gonna be enough, however. Need one more clean hit. The throw, unfortunately, a bit too far away. The fuzzy's gonna do it. Lasagna Slayer taking a round here. Skifto has that burst building up ever so slowly, however, so we can kind of bail out if we need to.
Man, these 2H routes are so cool to see. Lasagna Slayer showing that new Goldlewis change, the newest change, with that security cancel BT, turning that one into a wall splat. Now, I think that was only a level 1 laser, so not the best it could have been, but enough to jail Skifto back for a moment. Nice anti-air flick right there. Catching Lasagna Slayer, I think maybe on a hold up or a backdash. We still got this. Goldlewis in the corner. Great jump right there from that first pop buster, but the second one meets its mark. Gifto has meter. Lasagna Slayer also does with some great defense to boot.
Oh, and we catch the backdash, but the BT doesn't connect. We flick out the drone. We're not out of the woods just yet. Lasagna Slayer sets up another drone out. That flick comes out at the last second. Tap dust. Gifto, I believe, on set point here to take it with a potentially 3-0 fashion. Lasagna Slayer again taking that round. That JK gonna be finding its mark. The knees, the knee drop, but another defensive pot buster.
Man. Person on that wake up saying, get off me, homie. Able to get that laser super. It was activated and it was a level 2 one, I think I checked. As Gifto, though, because we were full screen and we did have that knockdown from Lasagna Slayer, all we had to do was do that jump back and block it out for a moment. Charging that flick, jump scare, PRC, pop buster. Lasagna Slayer has burst to play with, trying to get a bait here, able to weave it in after that heat knuckle. You got to be careful about anything at this point. Has the tension to use the laser super, beating you up with these BTs. Lasagna Slayer keeping it cool there at the end. Medikit able to get this game 3.
And what a tense situation as well, because if any of those flicks found their mark, any of those longer range Potemkin buttons found their mark, it would have been curtains for Lasagna Slayer's top 8 run. But right now, Lasagna Slayer putting a point on the board, showing it's not all said and done. We still have a chance. The brooms might need to be broken out for a 3rd time, but we need to see if Lasagna Slayer truly is able to kind of take advantage of the cracks that may be starting to form.
Slide head coming out. Oh, nice backdash right there on that meaty. I mean, backdash on wake up can get a lot of flack, especially if you're doing it without purpose. But if you know exactly what you're trying to backdash, especially against these Goldlewises with those behemoth setups, backdash is a heck of an option, man. You gotta not forget it, especially at this level of play. As Skifto gonna look really solid at the start of this round.
Oh, you see Lasagna Slayer trying to use a lot of those jumps, not want to get caught out by any of those pot busters, but you gotta watch out for that heavenly. Use that YRC, there we go. Now we get that side swap out, eating all of this. Goldlewis corner pressure, security gauge is gone, but so is Gifto's life bar being put about even out now, and that's Lasagna Slayer putting another round on the board.
Oh my lord. We're out here, we're hitting buttons, man. We're playing the game, we're hitting the buttons. I like how that drone is gonna get flicked back. Awesome stuff right there from Gifto with that FDB, man. Lasagna Slayer does have the round advantage here and is gonna get this hard knockdown to boot. We do have bursts on the other side. Lasagna Slayer no stranger to spending it on that white wall assault if we need to, or it could possibly be a second chance if needed. But that low BT scoop into the burst bait. Gifto sending a message with that game 4, getting a perfect, and we're going to one more game to decide this set.
Another game 5 on the Jeekly 61 stream. Lasagna Slayer making Gifto truly fight for it. Those brooms, I'm breaking them out already. At this point, why do I bother putting them back?
Man, we're taking the brooms out of the closet, putting them back. You know, the cheat code is I take my broom and I lay it against the counter and on our island in the kitchen, and that way it's there if I need it. Now my wife hates that because I should put it back into the pantry, hanging up on the wall where it should be. But what if I got to sweep? Anyway, got a little deep with that one. Gifto trying to get something started here. Able to get that slide head full screen, knocking you down, starting that minigun.
Oh, goes for that 6H, trying to push and get a little bit of pushback. Oh, but there it is. There's that Garuda coming out. Though we're seeing a little bit of the fuzzy out here. Goes for the low option. Lasagna Slayer blocking it all out. Goes for that pop buster that should close it out. Gifto back on set point.
Real quick shout outs to Gizoid, Neuro Crossing, and Geo was here for y'all follows here at twitch.tv/HGeek. Really appreciate y'all. You're coming in for a heck of a set right here. Lasagna Slayer navigating around these full screen normals, but strong stuff. Getting a scoop back after that fully charged white wild assault. A great answer to this option that Gifto has been representing of a fully charged flick. Now we're going to this last round, last game. It looks like Gifto does have that burst advantage, but only here for a moment, Medikit.
another double Luigi out here. Lasagna Slayer gonna have to wait on that burst. And there is a good hit for Gifto, immediately putting Lasagna in that corner. I mean, we've seen before what happens the second Lasagna Slayer is not able to escape. It is pretty much, it can feel like curtains, but what a burst bait out, especially with that meter we have. Are we churning the full butter? We are not. Just going ahead, getting that quick little wall break out here. Got to be a bit scared of that Heavenly Pot Buster, because even if it doesn't hit, it has a little bit of invul, so it can be used to escape situations at rate. Right now, though, we're seeing Lasagna Slayer just trying to close it out. We need one more clean hit.
Lasagna tried to go for that wall splat, and I don't blame you. That would have been a gnarly wall splat from downtown. Put it all on that throw. The PRC kept it safe. Oh, the air throw from Gifto. What a attempt at a call out, but Lasagna Slayer kept it cool on the ground with that 2P. Very close game from both of our players, but this Goldlewis is going to move on. Duel 1. Let's rock. We're fighting for 5th place out here in the losers quarterfinal of the Jeekly, guys. If you could please exclamation point Matcherino to claim some more of these codes. We still got a few left. I almost did the Matcherino thing again, man. I gotta get better at doing that. Anyways, Classified with a really strong start here against Dany, but Dany's still active, able to get that counter hit, spending it on that Wild Assault confirm, and we're walking to the other side of the screen, keeping that 5D safe with the PRC. And Classified all of a sudden is looking like they're in a bad spot. Dany brought it back all the way from across the screen, and if you're looking at the life bars, made a comeback there as well.
Yeah, and a quick little stun dipper out, just trying to call out Classified, charging up that spiral arrow, trying to call out Dany, playing a bit more defensive. But Dany just locked in, playing so aggressive right now. There's that shimmy, trying to beat a throw attempt. Classified with a nice defensive button press. We have a chance to get it started, but our backdash is called out. What a chase down.
Chasing you down the other side of the screen. This Giovanna can be quite fast chasing you down, but the roles are reversed. And speaking of, look at that, Classified doing that step dash forward, gonna throw you around. Dany was ready with that vapor thrust. And real quick, guys, want to shout out my boy Ukio with a fat raid to the stream over here, twitch.tv/itsgeek. Shout outs to everyone who's been raiding, following, all that stuff, and big shouts to Arxis for streaming this over in their official channel. If you're over in that chat, I see you guys. Hope you're having a good time watching this stream.
I know Classified's having a good time right now, able to run some pressure, but as I live and breathe, as I say it, Dany finding the escape, taking game 1.
Ooh, my lord. Strong stuff here from Dany. Here's the thing about Dany, man. Classified playing very well in these offline brackets as of late, doing some good stuff. Also playing very well in the online brackets, especially here at the Jeekly at least. But Dany knows this net play environment. He was born in it, molded by it. My man's been tearing us up in net play brackets since the beginning of this game's fruition, it seems like. Shouts to TNS, Paragon, shouts to Gorilla Gambit, the 9 Moons monthlies, man. The Bad Moon monthlies, a lot of brackets going on that Dany was built in, bro. And now here he is fighting the Jeekly 61.
Just grinding so many of these events. Classified trying to make him fight for it as well. That flip kick finds its mark. Dany maybe a bit too overzealous to start pressing a little bit of that 2S. The low not finding its mark. What defense out here. But there's that DP. Everyone's gonna go for it eventually. Can't get too antsy.
Oh my lord, nice counter hit 6P right there from Classified. Very confident round start, very confident game 2 here. In fact, Classified locked in, as the kids say.
Oh, nice Sacred Edge here, applying that shock state, getting that hard knockdown, but Classified does have 100 meter to play with. Chooses to spend it on the red RC, going for that 6-6 to the 6H routing. There's that wall break, gonna be going for that super. Is the scaling low enough to kill? It should. No! As I live and breathe, as I say it, I cursed it, but it's a-okay. The safe jump finds its mark. It's gonna be Classified, taking game 2 in a quick fashion.
Man, Classified said, man, no way I'm gonna go down to Daniel L. Maza. Gotta take it back here in this game 2. Dany had a lot of resources to spend there, but unfortunately didn't get a solid chance to do so. Compliments to Classified's offensive pressure and not ever giving up a knockdown. We're moving through. I see y'all claiming the codes. I appreciate you. We still got a few more left. If you can help me extinguish those, that would be great. Dany, got you with that shock state. But nice Abari there from Classified, showing you that 4-framer when that El Maza tries to run up on you. Stun Dipper coming out. We're dashing around the screen. Excuse me, S stun edge and the heavy stun edge to keep this Classified back. Medikit, that counter hit's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt indeed. Not enough to wall break, but we're going to be sitting over here. What a 6P. Just trying to play it so safe. Dany gonna find the mark.
These fireballs. Dany really knows how to play that fireball game. I think Dany's also been on some other fighting games as of late, been playing some of that City of the Wolves as well. So my man definitely well versed in the genre, not just this Kai Kisk. Classified, trying to get out of this corner here.
Alright, just pressing that far slash. There goes that good ol' Future Arc trying to keep us locked down, but Classified, we're escaping. What a DP out. We have that meter to play with, slowly building up. Oh, choose not to burst. Gold burst, not punished, but there's the far slash. Dany gonna be claiming that game 3. That all important game 3 to determine that momentum here. Just needs one more to move on to our losers semi-finals here tonight.
Now, I don't think we'll see this Medikit, but there is a chance that Classified gets this game 4, and then Dany hits us with a Hail Mary swap there at the end. I've seen Dany play quite a few characters, so there also is that mysterious option possibly, but we're playing so well in this Kai. Of course, that's what we're known for. We got 12,000 levels or something like that. We got Classified here in the corner trying to get out, but able to get that throw punish, and Dany doesn't have the burst to keep himself off of this wall splat. Classified cashing out big time.
Yeah, big damage. Look at all that red, but Dany, oh, tried to go for a stun dipper. You can see the startup, but Classified taking advantage of that with that VRC slowdown. Gonna be going for a quick little drift RC up, get that good ol' spacing, that good ol' height. Continue that route, claiming that round. Dany need to play clean, but what a spiral arrow, just crushing through that stun edge, going for another wall break.
Ooh, solid stuff there from Classified. Smashing that 5H button, showing you how good it is from Giovanna. Building up that tension. Here seeing to see that 2S from Dany, calling it out with the 4-framer, and then showing you that unique property of the dog dart, canceling out that projectile that Dany had queued up and taking that round. Classified bringing us to this game 5. You said that all important game 3 to decide who has the momentum, but Classified taking it right back, it seems. Still either player's game.
An insanely close set indeed. Classified building that momentum straight back up here. Again, showing us why I believe they got, I believe it was second at CEO. I'm trying to refresh my memory here. Oh, okay, nice confirm out here. What a burst bait. Gonna be going forward, get that spiral arrow. It's, I believe, the best meter generation, at least wall break option out here. Oh, nice backdash on that ender. A little bit of a dog swipe button there. Okay, there's that 6P. There's that dire eclat. Nice counter hit routing. Yep, force that burst out. Trying to salvage the round, but Dany is just so locked in, not letting anything slip by. Nice fake out. And there's that 6P to close out that round. Classified on the back foot. Dany on set point yet again. Classified with a nice little route though, confirming it out, just keeps playing insanely clean.
Oh my gosh, clean indeed. Release from Classified, able to jump in over that stun edge usage. We're fighting back here on this Giovanna. We are on the set point for Dany, but nice whiff punish on that stun dipper on the other side. Dany did a possibly was going to go for a delay cancel PRC on that stun dipper, but then didn't even get the chance because Classified was ready with the punish. Going to the Tatsu super, that's going to be enough to kill. We're going to the last round, Medikit.
Another double Luigi, especially off those 7 golden letters. That's exactly what Classified's looking for to stay alive. Right now, Dany with a nice confirm out here. No wall break just yet, but that wall health is so little. It's gonna wall break at about any moment now. Classified, yep, just going forward, air dashing over, trying to save a little bit of space, but look at the risk, Jeek. This is insanely rough out. Yep, Dany tries to go for that burst bait. Burst finds its mark. Potentially could spell disaster.
Oh, but Classified very active here in the corner, trying to bait out a DP from Dany possibly, but the PRC 2S is enough to catch him. That Tatsu super is going to be a decent amount of damage, almost enough to kill Medikit. It actually goes down to the next interaction.
What a bait. You saw that quick little 5p out. Dany definitely deflect shielding. Alrighty, everybody, our second matchup, losers quarterfinals here. We got SQ on that good old Ramlethal, that old reliable, fighting Goldlewis, piloted by that Lasagna Slayer. Right now, SQ having such a dominant game plan out here, immediately putting Lasagna Slayer in that corner. We did have to spend the burst to get to this position, but I mean, it seems to be a perfectly fine decision out here. Goldlewis throwing out those drones, but the back hit on the behemoth? Okay, we're kind of styling out here. Gonna be getting a nice wall stick wall break. But I mean, if you look at the stick of bar, you got the full stick of butter. You can start to churn maybe just a little bit. You know, throw that sword. There's that PRC. Goes for the fuzzy overhead. We find it. Gonna be going for a mortal bottle wall stick. It's gonna be a fair amount of damage. Just needs about 2 more openings to try to close it out. But we have that 100 tension. So what I think we're gonna see is, yep, there's that YRC out here. There's that burn it down. Just gotta hold out. There it is. Goes to that side swap. The overhead behemoth gonna find its mark to close out that first round.
Man, that first round was going forever, considering the fact Lasagna Slayer did like 80% in one combo at one point, but then we just kept playing the game. Definitely a fun game to play, man. This game got me into fighting games, got me into TOing and hosting and everything I'm doing right now. Met a lot of cool people and friends, both competing and TOing, so big shouts to Guilty Gear Strive, bro. SQ gonna get you with that 5D combo, sending you through with that Mortar Bottle hard knockdown. Lasagna Slayer with a lot of resources on the other side, including security. We'll have to see if we get a chance to spend it.
Oh, there's that burn down yet again. We see SQ go for that correct option, the correct option there, where you have to jump up and then FD it to have it at least not be as plus, and you don't typically really have to deal with a lot of the mix with the overhead. Right now we're seeing SQ enforce some pressure here, enforce some offense. We have 100 meter, but we don't have both swords. We can't go for that Calvados, but the Mortar Bottle drops, forcing that burst out. That's a terrible spot to be in, because even if we take this round, that burst was, the YRC was not baited, but I mean, we're fine. The burst is gone, not going to be available for the majority of this next round.
Unfortunate stuff right there. Fortunately, the Wild Assault isn't too big of a thing on Ramlethal as much as you see on some of these other orange users. SQ can show you why right now, just with that Rekka sequence, getting that windshield wiper to break the wall as well. Of course, she would love to have it right now to turn that into a of course, it would have been nice right there, right, being able to Wild Assault off of that 6p counter hit. But SQ trying to bait this burst with all she has. Man, Lasagna Slayer says, hey, I'm not gonna give it to you. Oh my gosh, Medikit, these Beyblades are looking crazy.
So crazy, but what else was crazy is that 6p from SQ to take the first game here, trying to move forward herself into that top 4 position, get into that semifinals to meet Classified.
Strong stuff, man. Reminder, guys, that the prize split only goes to 3rd place. If we want to get it to that 4th place spot, we just need a couple more buccarinos over there in the Matcherino. Exclamation point Matcherino. In fact, if you want to go ahead and claim some of those codes, only a few more remaining, guys. We're doing a great job claiming them. I really appreciate y'all's support. But regardless, I just appreciate y'all being out here watching this game.
Oh, we're running forward, using that drone to try to cover ourselves, but what a JH from SQ, blocking us down that cross-up flip, finding its mark. It's so hard to block.
SQ gonna cross you up in the corner with that H sword right there. Loving what she's doing. Gonna break this wall against Lasagna Slayer and is threatening this first round in a quick fashion.
Yeah, and there it is. There's that round. You're talking about it being quick, and the second you set it, it is over. But there we go. There's those windshield wipers just getting a little bit of that knockdown, a little bit of those plus frames. SQ choosing to re-engage. Oh, potentially going to see a burst. That's why I believe it's why we just kind of waited it out, just kind of shut out, because you do not want to lose corner, especially against Goldlewis, where the damage potential is so insanely high.
Jailing you back with those jump normals, man. Lasagna Slayer trying to spend that BT to get out of this corner with that Hail Mary. The 5D connects. SQ trying to get something started, but that laser super is going to fight back.
Oh, there's those Behemoth Typhoons just looping that guard crush. SQ able to escape out by taking advantage of some of that air stall from those that little bit, I believe that's JD. Right now, no super to get that hard knockdown, just not enough meter out. But what we are seeing is 50 meter on the side of Lasagna Slayer, trying to make something happen. There's that throw, gonna find its mark, but I mean, you got so much health to chunk through. It's definitely an uphill battle.
That red RC after that BT counter hit is going to help. Evening up the rounds here.
Starting us off in this third round. Again, we're just playing a bit patient. Kind of chilling out both players, just kind of backing up, assessing what the other wants to do.
Very patient right here. Lasagna Slayer, I really like what they're representing with those IAD BTs. They look like Baiken sending it with those IAD Yozansons. A little bit slower, but a lot bigger, of course. SQ doing that same side off that normal jump on the S sword, turns into a wall break and is now going to mortar body you through with this hard knockdown.
Right, here we go. There's that sword that down, we lock down. That burst is on the table. It ends up getting baited. SQ gonna be taking that good old game out here.
Strong stuff, y'all. We're moving forward. SQ threatening to take this set. We have to see what she can do. Big shout out to everybody watching on all the streams tonight, whether you're watching on ArcSys over here or watching one of the many restreams, guys. We love streaming our bracket runs out here in Guilty Gear Strive, so big shouts to all of y'all, all your support all across the board, whether it's to your favorite streamer, to your favorite TO. Y'all put the game on the screen, so thank you very much. Lasagna Slayer whiffing that BT, but gonna gun you back. SQ trying to get in here, it seems.
Yeah, just using that Skyfish just to keep SQ locked down, locked away. But there's a safe jump out, but we have the meter to PRC it, so we're still fine, we're still safe. We have to watch out for that laser. We end up getting caught out, and that's Lasagna putting a round on the board. Locking it all out. We're able to escape. Nice 5H counter hit. That bomb, that sword, sorry, goes off. There we go. There's that belt. Looks to be about 50% here. Tries to do that white wall assault just to force the question, force the issue. Nice PRC out. We hit that behemoth. Oh, yep. Forced to burst out. You were dead if you didn't do that. So now we just kind of have to play it safe. Nice. Lasagna Slayer blocking it out. We have to wait it out though, because we do have that meter on deck for SQ. That sword is thrown out. We're just blocking it all out. Amazing defense. Not getting opened up by about anything. Waiting for that burst to come back. But we hit the counter hit.
My lord.
counter hit bar slash on defense to put a game on the board.
Man, solid stuff there from Lasagna Slayer. Playing really hot on this Goldlewis. This is the start of the comeback potentially. We'll have to see.
I need to get the image, you know, it's just your press far slash with your life on the line. Alright, starting off here on our game 4 out. SQ playing a bit more aggressive, using that JH, using those quick little 5Ks, trying to force the issue. Right now though, you're seeing SQ deftly hop over that good old drone, and not a problem if you just hop over it. You don't gotta deal with it. But right now, Lasagna Slayer keeping us locked down with that good old Behemoth Typhoon. Been really active with that offense, with some smart choices on that defense as well. Again, seeing that counter hit far slash in the last game. Oh, there's that fuzzy finance mark, gonna be getting a nice little wall break here, and not enough for that Mortabato, so no hard knockdown. So Goldlewis gonna have time to set up that drone, forcing SQ to play a bit high in the sky. We have 50 meter, 100 meter left to play with, 50 meter left to play with, but we don't even need it. It's gonna be getting sent through the wall with that Rekka.
SQ here on set point. She's trying to take this whole game to keep moving on through this bracket. Lasagna Slayer has got you beat up with these BTs though. Strong play from them over here.
Oh, just barely not enough to kill, but that JD is gonna do it. A nice perfect, that 7-letter round, exactly what Lasagna is looking for. That Rekka coming on through, just looping this pressure out, throwing that sword down as soon as we got the H sword back. So now we can kind of chill out, just keep running all of this pressure. Tap Dust not going to find its mark. Lasagna Slayer trying to find an escape, but there is no reprieve. Just got to block this all out as that risk gets cranked. The second you get opened up, it's gonna hurt. Yep, forced to spend that burst, but there's that sword yet again. We're forced into this corner, blocking it all out. We have meter to play with. SQ quick FRC, F red RC, just kind of cranking that risk yet again. Lasagna Slayer trying to FD it out, but this is scary. It hits the low, and that is SQ gonna be taking the set 3-1, ending off with a perfect.
We're back up to the winner's side of the bracket. Another Goldlewis, another birthday train. This time it's back to RedIAmNot. Going to be fighting against Joe Brownie. Man, this is a YoKai bracket tonight. Apparently, both these players made their way to this winner's finals. Joe Brownie's first time here at the Jeekly, I'd say. We have to see who's going to make it on further. Great start from both of our players as Joe Brownie gets this 5D red RC setup.
Yeah, just keeping red in that corner. I mean, I've seen this matchup, like these two players duke it out a fair amount at this point, so I know Joe has what it takes. But I mean, right now, red's looking like a raid boss.
This big body, big shot coming out. Gonna have to see how they do. Joe, of course, no stranger to jailing you back with these bots. Had a heck of a upset earlier, taking out SQ to earn his spot here. But you can't just, you can't just beat one Titan. You got to beat the other. RedIAmNot multi-time winner here at the Jeekly. A lot of tension here on the side of Joe Brownie. It's going to turn to this Elysian driver here, Medikit.
Yeah, and we have that one. We have that 15 meter to play with on top of that positive bonus, going to be regenerating all of that meter. So red in a really tough spot to be in, because now we have to deal with that bot. We have to deal with the two bots out there, going to be cranking that risk, have to deal with that FD, and yep, there it is, that Tap Dust finding the mark in a perfect to seal out that second round here. Joe looking very strong.
Yeah, I mean, when Jacko wins, she wins hard, man. I mean, that's a game we play, right? A lot of Guilty Gear Strive characters are like that. If they get their stuff rolling, it can be kind of hard to slow it down. But you do have some answers with some of these defensive mechanics right now. Both these players kind of going back and forth. Of course, Red got this Jacko here in the corner. Gonna turn that drone hit into a couple of burst baits back to back. But Joe very patient and then gets out of the corner for free, quote unquote, with that YRC.
And I like the decision there just to spend that YRC instead of the burst, because now we could use that Wild Assault to set that minion. Red, however, taking advantage of a couple little gaps here to claim that first game, trying to get into that grand finals.
Strong stuff, man. And you got to be careful about those air trades. Especially when you got someone like Red who is already buffering that. I think, is that the fastest behemoth you can do out of that? Crazy stuff right there.
Alrighty, we're getting started. The second game out, we're throwing out the minion, we're throwing out another minion. There's a lot of minions on screen. Regardless, Red dealing with all of those, but there's another minion that bought that gold burst. Kind of sniping that minion out. Red has a good kind of momentum boost here, good little lead going on. That laser gonna be helping us a ton, not enough to kill. 5H counter hit setting us up in the minion. This is looking very rough for Red because now we're in the Joe zone.
The Joe zone. I'm gonna steal that one. That's a good one right there, Medikit. We're out here. We're in the Joe zone, going for the resets, getting that 2D, getting that whistle, but not enough to kill.
See, when you reach a special layer of play, you actually unlock a new secret called the Joe zone layer.
All right. well, looks like this Joe zone layer is depleting. You got to listen to the scientists on this one because Red was able to get out of there. Joe getting caught with that 5H and the 5H combo.
Oh, the 5K finding its mark. It's going to be a fair amount of damage on the side of Red. Oh, there it is. Burst not going to be on the table. Red claiming that second game, trying to move on with a 3-0. But, I mean, Jeek, we've seen it all throughout tonight where, you know, we'll get a quick 2-0 lead ahead and then suddenly, you know, you blink and we're on game 5, you know, final round.
Yeah, I feel bad. You know, I'll let you. I'll lift the curtain. At this point, I start adding the next players because you know the match may be over soon. But I've been adding the next players, and then we got to sit here while we watch a reverse sweep happen, or at least it be threatened to happen. Joe doing some nifty stuff here with the bots to start off. Red going to spend that burst. Doesn't want to give away that positive bonus.
Oh, and what a clash out. Joe just kind of trying to retreat until we can establish ourselves. There's that minion set up. We're just throwing out, trying to get some plus frames going. We don't truly have a lot of that minion gauge. Oh, there it is, that minion set up. Well, as I live and breathe, Joe Brownie taking around here. Low scaling out. Gonna be enough with the wall break. With a perfect 2. Joe trying to stay alive and doing it pretty well out here, but Red, no fear, just running up. You can't throw the minions at me if I'm point blank.
Oh, checking with that 5K. Counter hits coming out. Oh, Red trying to be aggressive there, but gets called out by that defend command. Jacko, very strong option from that character. Joe loves showing you that, but the 5K connects. We get that Millia cross up, but on the Goldlewis skin. PRC to get forward towards you. Able to Elysian driver through that gap. RedIAmNot's going to take some damage here, but we did just get our burst back.
Yeah, you got to be extremely careful out. Might see that burst in the middle of a block string here. We have that 50 meter to play with. There's the burst. It gets baited. Joe Brownie puts a point on the board.
Woo! And I did it, by the way. You know what I said about adding the players, about them coming in? I did it, and look at this. Joe said, hold on. I ain't hear no bell. Taking this third game right here.
We're going to have to see if Joe is able to continue this momentum, continue just taking advantage of, again, any cracks in the armor. I feel like I'm saying that a lot, but any cracks that are forming in Red's game plan and Red's suit of armor. Right now we're starting off in our game 4 with a nice quick little 5k and a counter hit 5H. Joe incredibly strong right now.
Oh my lord. Oh my lord. They're going to save that meter for the mix. BRC Drift Forward sees that gnarly startup of 2S. It is a very big normal from that Goldlewis, but not the fastest. Joe Brownie even going to spare you the cutscene. Just takes the perfect without spending any of that tension. Red, a lot more patient on these round starts, it seems, as well. Seeing that Joe Brownie is starting to get some of that momentum back. Red trying to go back to their roots, saying, okay, well, how was I so explosive those first 2 games? It seemed like I had it in the bag. What decisions do I need to revert to or make now to get that lead back in my possession?
I mean, we're seeing Red finally be able to get truly on offense here. This is exactly what Red wants, but what a 5k out. But that burst out going to be securing that corner position, securing that round with those BTs. Joe has a chance. This is set point for RedIAmNot. It's not over just yet, though. We have all 3 bots online. Get some plus frames. And there's the Jacko Buster. We're going to be getting that minion gauge a bit back as we kind of go through once we're in the stage transition here. Get that positive bonus, get that hard knockdown. RedIAmNot doing an amazing job of challenging those bots, clearing them out. But just still gotta hold it down because there we go. There it is again. You're seeing that soccer kick. You're seeing that dash cancel come out of it. And we're in a 1 more clean hit for Joe Brownie. But are we going to see it, Jeek?
I mean, I'm watching this screen, Medikit. My eyes are open. These BTs are going back and forth, but they're just getting blocked. Of course, that risk is cranked, but now we're picking you up. The bot claps you from the back. Amazing defense from Joe, and that was risky. No pun intended, but one more hit with all that risk meter built up definitely would have sealed the round for RedIAmNot. But some great reactions there from Joe, dancing around those BTs, FDing Red back, and then able to get that double attack command to close out that game. We're going to a 5th one.
And it's as I said, I mean, we blink and we're in a game 5 situation. Joe Brownie looking to get into that grand finals winner side over Red. Again, you know, arguably an upset, taking it over SQ in the first place. So we're here fighting our heart out with a very strong round start. JP just kind of denying Red any momentum. Oh, there's that shimmy out, but the BT goes wide. It hits. What a... Oh, okay, what a throw out here. There's a throw again. Going for that little bit of a strike instead, and that should be set point for RedIAmNot.
Now, Joe does have their bursts here in this next round. Both players, in fact. Joe can get it to set up those bots with a BWA. Red, of course, has been representing that white wild assault. It's not something you can really overuse now in this season, but these Goldlewis players at this level know how to weave it out. Gnarly BT right there, killing the bots and knocking down Joe Brownie. Good link into that 2K, scooped it back into the corner. Unfortunate BT right there, a little bit of a whiff. Joe gets another chance. The BRC slowdown forces you to block all this out. Some great just blocks from Joe, but that impenetrable defense can't last forever. Red opens you up and secures their spot here in grand finals.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Okay, wait, that's the wrong one. Dang it, dang it, dang it. I got it, I got it, I got it. Don't worry. Here it is, here it is, here it is. Guys, they're playing the match. Guys, we got it, we got it. Okay, it's a little scuffed. I appreciate y'all being patient with us. Okay, Medikit, you see this, right?
I do indeed see this.
Okay, all right, we figured it out. We navigated around, guys. Okay, so to be clear on what's happening, so unfortunately a little bit of a net play situation here. Our players weren't able to match in the room. This is a known situation that you know, we're trying to mediate right now by our players instead playing in park. Big shouts to SQ for running her stream right now. We're able to catch the match regardless. So what an awesome save. Big shouts to our players right now. We got SQ spending that Mortabato, S sorting Giovanna back here into the corner. Nice stuff from Classified, by the way, able to get this first round.
Get that first round in a very convincing fashion. I mean, we saw SQ try to go for a lot of that rock pressure, but, you know, Classified just able to hop, skip, and a jump out. But right now, we're seeing SQ. Yep, there we go. There's that nice close slash stagger pressure, getting a nice little counter hit here. Burst on the side of Classified coming out. Nice little BRC overhead. It's lethal. Gio has so many points where she can just whip out the instant BRC overhead in her pressure, and it's so hard to deal with. But right now, we're just seeing Classified had spent that YRC, I believe, to get out here. Trying to go for a shimmy. SQ not biting.
Look, I even got my overlay up. Yo, this works. We saved the stream. Looks like Classified is going to go ahead and get this first game, though. Man, I even got the replays. I probably won't have time because they're just going to rematch, but I'm going to show you that I had it ready. Here we go. Classified getting this first game meta kit. Also very aggressive on that round start. Getting that 2P2S. SQ over here in the corner. Classified going for a very confident air throw and able to jump that rock. SQ holding onto that burst, waiting for it to be safe.
Oh, but what a 6P route here, getting us started. Okay, nice counter hit here. We got the confirms. Alrighty, nice chunk of damage out, but we got no burst. We got that positive bonus, so that meter and that burst going to be coming back oh so slowly here. But it's A-okay. I mean, Ram's got us stuck in this corner out.
We got the wall broken meta kit. Classified has that 50 tension, gonna BRC drift forward. YRC to push us back as well. Guys, if you're just getting here and wondering why it's muted, we're going ahead, we're watching SQ stream to make sure that we can get this match to y'all to figure out who's going to make it through this loser's side. And right now, it's going to be Classified spending that YRC, having SQ here in the corner. We may see a burst meta kit. She has the meter to spend. Looks like she's going to do it on the YRC, and the run up throw takes it. Put it all on that throw. But sometimes you got to make choices like that if you want to come back on a round.
You know, I feel like SQ heard us. We're like, hey, you know, I need to spend the burst. It ain't nothing to me. Right now. Oh, nice back throw. Potential back throw incident here. We do have that burst because we did not spend it in that first round. Classified in a bit of trouble here. We're in the corner against Ramlethal. Again, there's that Mortabato getting us that hard knockdown, gonna be getting that positive bonus, gonna be getting those swords back. So we can just continue to lock down Classified. There's that cross up, and that's gonna be SQ taking game 2.
Strong stuff, man. Going back and forth here. Both of our players, despite the scenario, are still able to keep it competitive and stay locked in. And shoutouts to that net play connection, by the way. 50 MS. That's pretty good, man. Classified's in your walls. We're getting some direct clats here. SQ can pick up that 5H, waited for a good chance to burst, but Classified running you back, going into that Tatsu, catching your backdash and making you hurt for it.
Oh, just hitting a little bit of a couple dash up, able to hit a quick little 5K for the perfect to close it out.
Talking about 5K, SQ was doing that on the round start, but that wolf kick counter hit's gonna hurt. Classified did build up their tension. Oh, went for a really cool confirm right there, a cool wall break combo. But unfortunately, a little too late on it. SQ, in fact, has now got you in this corner situation. Classified is building up that burst. SQ has her own meter as well, and is going to start things off with that 6P on the dog dart. Classified feeling really good about this round, spending that gold burst.
Spinning gold burst. The YRC gets baited out. That's a fair amount of damage, just barely not enough to get the kill, however. But that sword's gonna do it. SQ evening up the rounds yet again, looking to get a 2-1 lead, looking to move forward into losers finals to get that run back against Joe Brownie. Okay, getting a nice bit of damage out here. Classified in trouble, Jeek.
in trouble indeed after getting that burst baited. Strong stuff there from SQ, getting that 6H into this Calvados. She's going to go ahead and seal things out here for this game 3. Looking pretty strong here. Up a whole game. Gonna see if she can close it out, or if Classified can make this comeback. Of course, we started off strong getting that first game, but SQ just started turning things up.
Sure. Yeah, we have not stepped off the gas once. I mean, we're trying to make really active decisions in defense. Again, we've seen a lot of those backdashes, a lot of those fast mashes. But he Classified just needs to find a good answer here, because right now SQ just needs one more clean interaction and suddenly we're on set point.
Man, that H sword's gonna seal that set point. Secure it, I should say. And she does have that burst advantage as well. But Classified getting a counter hit, gonna walk Ramlethal to the corner. Keeping that 6P safe with that dog kick. The tick throws come out. We could potentially see an SQ burst this round if she feels so inclined. Classified trying to get something started right there, Medikit, but it's going to be this Rekka sequence into the mortar bottle to get a hard knockdown. Classified with so much meter on the other side, we've got to get a chance to use it.
Oh, but we hit that air backdash. JK tries to go for a burst bait route. Classified not biting. Goes for that reversal. It finds its mark. We have a chance to take the round here, and we do. Classified has a chance to bring us to another game 5, leading into this losers finals. But right now, I mean, we got another round here before we get into this potential final game. If Classified is able to take it, and this wall break, is it gonna be a pretty good argument for them being able to?
Oh man, that BRC combo from Classified will do it, Medikit. Able to go into that Tatsu super. That will be enough to seal it. We're going to game 5 as Classified gets a perfect.
Amazing gameplay. Those 7 golden letters. Hope maybe leading Classified to the promised land, the promised victory. But right now, we're seeing, I mean, SQ is being put on the back foot immediately out here, going for that dive kick.
Oh, wow. That was a good press from her to keep that Giovanna off of you. Classified a little too comfortable doing those run up pressure sequences, and now you're going to pay for it. SQ sending you through the wall with that wipers, but no swords. Classified has 100 tension. Oh my lord, wow, what an extended hurt box there. Classified got a nasty whiff punish from downtown. BRC to keep your momentum mixing up. SQ, however, getting that counter hit. RedRC to bait the burst, but Classified delays it.
Yeah, but SQ still able to find the mark. Maybe a bit of a hero burst, because Classified going into this potential last round here with no burst, and it's going to be not built back for quite some time. SQ did not have both swords, so did not have the range needed to get that wall break. So Classified has a chance. We escaped out, went for the spiral dog. So right now we're seeing a nice little wall break here, going for that good old super there. Get some hard knockdown, get some meter, get some positive bonus back. That burst, most importantly, that burst is coming back fast.
Oh my lord, the just block on that cross up. Classified was ready for that mix. SQ does still have her burst if she feels like she needs to keep Classified in the corner, so he has to get a good chance to get out if SQ even lets him get it. That 5D RedRC confirmed started this off. Classified getting caught by that low, did build back up his burst. Will he get a chance to use it? SQ is going to seal it with that 2K 5D, taking this game 3-2.
Everybody, you might be like, whoa, are we back in the the winter semis? You would be incorrect. We're here in losers finals of the Jeekly 61. Got the run back of SQ and Brownie. Brownie was able to take it against SQ in that winner side of the bracket earlier in our top 8 here tonight. But right now, it might be a little bit of a different story. SQ hot off her match with Classified, taking it. Right now, Joe kind of reversing the situation, playing a bit strong here, trying to force SQ back into that corner.
And I like how we're setting up these bots, Medikit, and using those normals to hit those bots in such interesting ways. Even buttons as unassuming as 2P can set up some cool bot angles. But SQ, she'll be able to fight out of this corner. We'll be able to get this close/confirm after that S sword pickup as well. Man, some of these new Ramlethal combos are so sick. Able to wall splat you from just all the way across the screen.
Yeah, and one thing I want to mention as well is I've been seeing Joe do a lot more of that Season 4 change. You have that soccer kick and then you do the dash, you have that special dash cancel. I've been seeing that a lot more out of Joe, and it's been really cool to see because I actually haven't seen many Jackos do that. Alright, we're getting started in our second round here of our first game. Nice counter hit, forcing that burst out from Joe Brownie. Oh, nice counter hit. Right now what we're seeing is SQ just run that oppressive Ramlethal pressure, using those swords to lock us down, using that rock to lock us down. We're throwing rocks right now with the amount of damage we're doing.
We're throwing rocks, we're throwing hands, we're throwing swords, we're throwing bots. We're throwing our lives on the line. Mortabato is going to get this game one for SQ. Definitely sitting in the hot seat after we just played against Classified, going to game 3. Man, is SQ not... I think SQ's gone to game 3 every time so far in this winner's top 8, or rather this top 8 in general. Same thing for Joe Brownie, I believe. Man, these players have been playing all night.
They've been grinding it out. They've been fighting with, you know, the fighting their heart out, fighting. I mean, again, we got a pretty big prize pool on the line. Thank you so much to everybody who's, you know, claimed a code, contributed to the match arena. Definitely, you know, our players definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, and everyone you see at this point is in the running for that money. It's just about how big of a slice of pie you're going to get. $165 from some very generous contributions from DaniGod and from MastaShake. Big shout outs to both of y'all again for doing that. That's very kind of y'all. Putting some money in the players' pockets, out here supporting Guilty Gear Strive, supporting this scene. The burst being spent, SQ has her own. The bots are keeping you back though. And you see SQ active with that 5k, trying to go ahead and juggle one of the bots back. But Joe doing a good job of keeping those angles tricky. Able to get over that H sword also, but the late explosion catches us. Man, that was cheap.
Hey, I mean, if cheap is what wins you the game, it wins you the game. SQ in a very commanding position right now, but what a Jacko Buster, able to catch that JH. That button is insanely hard to challenge otherwise, so good on Joe recognizing that situation, leading to a round win after a very nice bait on the YRC.
Joe trying to get some distance back. I love getting that counter hit though and pressing SQ back. And once this Valentine gets you in the corner, man, it can be tricky. Elysian driver, hard knockdown for Joe out here. SQ will have her burst here on the other side. It's about how early she's going to use it and if Joe is looking for the opportunity to bait it. But this defense has been great from SQ, blocking those 5D mix-ups, able to get in as well.
Oh, but we're locked down on the other side of the screen, G. Quick Mortabato. Look at the red from just those quick little 3 hits.
And the air counter hit Medikit. This Elysian driver on the wake up. Joe is going to secure game 2 off of what was going to look like a further back and forth match. But man, you got to respect those wake up reversals.
Yeah, it's just something you have to be cognizant of, especially when, you know, characters have 100 meter. Joe in that situation I don't believe did, but it's something you just have to be cognizant of, because the second that's available, the second, you know, a fair amount of players will just send it out.
Evened up out here. I mean, at this point, Medikid, you know, like you mentioned it before, this is a run back. There's a chance that Joe Brownie gets a bit of a lead here, and we actually see some other characters from SQ. She does have those other ones in her back pocket. You were talking about how she was playing Unica and Elfa in that earlier Strive Utopia bracket. I've seen her play it quite a bit on Tower and other brackets as well, including the Jeekly. But right now, she's playing pretty hot on this Ramlethal, getting that hard knockdown Mortabato Joe, trying to get out of this corner with that 6P.
Not able to escape just yet. Tap Dust doesn't find its mark. Joe Brownie able to finally find a mash out. Setting up those minions. You just, again, you have to be cognizant of that 50 meter, because the second you leave a wide enough gap, you know, people can just send that reversal super. That YRC is going to come out, spend that 50 burst doing that instead. Nice 6P out here. This is just going to be setting up those minions, catching that backdash, and going through, not through a wall, but might be going through a wall soon enough here. We just can't get opened up once, because that should be death.
And we're going through a midlife crisis right now, having to block all these bots over there. Joe finally getting that clap from downtown to secure that round. We also got our burst basically completely full at this point. The advantage over SQ, including the round. So this could be quite tricky, maybe a little difficult to come back from, but I wouldn't doubt her to be able to do it. All the players at this point in the bracket are some of the best in the world, at least in this NA scene. So we'll have to see if SQ can get out, but Joe, man, so oppressive, so much damage done with the bots.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing SQ kind of deal with the minions here. Again, you saw a quick little button be thrown out, like, snipe 2 of them. But beyond that, I mean, we've seen the minions do a ton of work in Joe's sets tonight. I mean, we saw it against Red. We saw it in that first SQ set as well. Just Joe's had really smart placement with them, really smart control of the minions. Right now, it's the SQ show going. We're going through the wall here, tying up those rounds. SQ trying to go on, trying to move forward here tonight.
Man, this game is awesome. SQ getting that wiper to break the wall. Nice stuff right here, but SQ with a really good 5P anti-air, man. That's a sign of a confident anti-airer, if that comes across correctly. Able to use that 5P cross-cut Mortabato. Look at this combo. SQ just won game 3 off of that.
Holy. Again, SQ just cognizant and aware, just again, because that's one thing you can do as well, is if you're trying to call out those reversal attempts, you can just go for, try to make that cross-cut. An amazing, amazing job there by SQ recognizing that and going for that input.
SQ threatening a run back here. You know what's crazy is that SQ was seeded to actually have to fight RedIAmNot on winners finals, but it was Joe Brownie who hit us with this upset initially. Nothing personal, just by the seeding. That's all. That's all. But Joe was able to secure their spot instead. Brought Red very close to the end in that game 5. Is SQ trying to rewrite the history now? Trying to secure back her spot that she was supposed to have herself? We'll have to see, Medikit.
I have to see indeed. Right now, Joe fighting for his life. We're able to find that counter hit in. Just gotta be aware of that burst. Yup, SQ did not want to have to deal with any of those minions. And that's gonna be death. SQ on set point.
Violence out here. Violence indeed. Able to go into that 2D Joe. Double teaming SQ right now. It's not a fair fight out here, man. Sometimes 2, 3, 4v1. But SQ doing a good job of dancing in the middle of the screen with those shimmies back and forth, with those FD blocks on the bots to try to get in, trying to dash block in, and it pays off. Because look at this. We got the JH counter hit. We have Joe here in the corner. Joe does have the burst. SQ trying to possibly get it from him, but he gets a reversal situation with that back throw.
You just gotta play it careful, because again, SQ does that have 50 meter. Oh, but the 6P goes wide. SQ has a chance to close it out here. We have that 100 tension, tries to go for that JH. Joe Brownie trying to play it a bit safe. The 6P catches. Any hit will do it. We just need to be cognizant. Yep, okay. There's that burst out. No more lifelines on the side of Joe Brownie.
Man, we're getting slapped on, but no more bots. Oh, okay. Oh, able to get one out just in time. Joe looking kind of scary there. Still set point for SQ. But Joe's slowing things down with these bots, and I think Joe's catching on to this actually working, right? Joe's like, okay, look, this is getting me somewhere.
Yeah, Joe went for that burst bait. Again, I think what we're gonna see is, yep, Joe just backing up, playing a bit more passive, trying to zone out a bit more. Tapta is gonna find its mark, but we don't have the meter for the Mortabato. So Joe, I think we're gonna see is we're gonna, yep, again, just take the minions, set up, run away. Oh, but what a 5P ends up catching out here. That's gonna be us going through that wall. It's not gonna be enough to kill, but it's a guess for your life scenario, because SQ's 100% gonna be looking for that burst. Gold burst finds its mark.
Building up that meter, Joe wisely going into that buff super right there to keep these minions alive. Once he got all three on the screen, the positive bonus still giving us back like 50 of our meter, by the way. I mean, this is the best spot to be in with all those bots. Unfortunately, they did have to go away eventually. Even that super has a duration. SQ does have her burst, but I mean, you're in a weird spot, right? What are you gonna do? Burst the Jacko back to full screen? It looks like the gold burst to kill off some of those bots. Great choice from SQ, but that confirmed from Joe. We're going into a reset after oh man, it's down to one more hit medikit, and it's gonna be the Kobe bot number 2 off the backboard. We're going to game 5.
Amazing gameplay here. The second game 5 between these two players in the same top 8. Such insanely close. It's so close. I can't even speak properly.
Man, this bracket's been going on a long time. This will be one of our longest Jeekly brackets ever, Medikit. This has got to be a world record breaker. Shoutouts to the Arxis stream. Thanks for letting me pilot this stream key for a minute, y'all. Hopefully I'm showing y'all right, showing off how awesome this video game is. Guilty Gear Strive, man. Definitely one of my favorite games, not just fighting games. I hope y'all love what you see, whether you're a regular player or whether it's your first time checking it out. Check out Joe Brownie, in fact. Get this awesome Elysian driver after beating SQ around the screen with those bots. Not close enough for the wall break, so SQ gets a chance to use that defensive mechanic and get out of the corner.
Yeah, no positive bonus going to be built, but we do have that 50 meter kind of being built up here. But SQ just playing so aggressive, trying to lock down Joe. Slowing down the game just a little bit. Oh, going for the resets, going for the vortex. Joe blocking it out. Nice counter hit out. And that's Joe on set point.
Oh man, SQ will have to see what she can do here with that far slash counter hit. Joe doesn't want any of it. What a good time to burst, by the way, right? Especially if you're banking on yourself losing this round or accepting that chance, you'll probably build up that burst in time for a fight back. But SQ is the one getting this next hit. She's the one taking you down screen with this H sword. But some good defense from Joe keeps us alive here a little bit longer.
Yeah, we're seeing some amazing defense from Joe, as you had mentioned here. Just blocking it out, tries to deny a little bit of that burst with that wild assault, but the 5H whiffs!
Oh, here come the throws. Medikit, Joe and SQ both don't really over-represent that throw, so when it does come out, you know it's a nod of respect to how well their opponent's been doing on defense. 6P to jail back this SQ. She's here FDing out everything she can. An amazing tech.
SQ's tournament life on the line. Nice cross-up flip here. Goes for a little bit of that reset. Opens up with a close slash, and we're going to a last round situation, folks. Another, I'm pretty sure this is the same exact situation that happened in the original winner semi-set.
Man, regardless of what happens, I hope that both these players are proud. At the very least, you got 10 games of match review to go ahead and watch your replays and see what you did right or even what you did wrong. Learn from those mistakes and come back. Awesome stuff. We still got one more round to go. Windshield wiper delay PRC to keep Joe Brownie here in the corner. The throw comes out. SQ showing this throw. The gold burst to keep the whip throw safe, but SQ's patience pays off. She's able to secure that last round and earn her spot in grand finals. Here is our grand finals of the Jeekly 61. RedIAmNot and SQ are fighting it out for this $165 prize pool here at the Jeekly. We're a weekly Guilty Gear Strive tournament every Friday at 8 p.m. EST, rain or shine. I'd love to have you. RedIAmNot, before I could even finish doing the shout out, takes this first round. I'm here with Medikit. We've been here all night. How you feeling, my man?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling amazing here. Watching some amazing Guilty Gear gameplay. SQ coming off the back foot, off of losing that first round, but immediately we're just playing around that, that limited Goldlewis range out here, spending that RC, going for a little bit of that routing off of that Rekka, and it's gonna hurt. Putting Goldlewis into that low 30%-ish health range. Now I just gotta play around that drone. JH not gonna be enough.
Ooh.
Oh, I like that. Going for it, so we deny the burst, actually.
Yeah, really smart stuff there from Red. Now, SQ, of course, does a lot of have a meter on the other side, but the white Wild Assault's going to take away some of that burst. Has to spend that more to Bato, but keeps it safe with her 100 tension. Red doing some good just blocks here in the corner, but too good on defense. SQ starting to get a lot more throw heavy, especially after her last set against Joe, and it's going to be that jump back JS to even up the rounds.
Red just kind of playing a bit more passive this time, but that ends up with us getting put in that corner. SQ definitely taking advantage of any hesitation at all.
Running downtown, SQ got you picked up with that H sword. Mortar bottle for this hard knockdown. SQ does have her burst here as well. She can use it offensively, of course, in this situation. Red getting beat up here, isn't going to get a chance to fight back yet with that security. We will have some tension and burst here on the other side, but it's going to have to be after this wake up. And Ramlethal, SQ specifically, so good at keeping her pressure on you with those H swords, with those flip kick mix-ups, and she secures this first game of this grand finals.
Amazing job, but kind of taking it back after that very quick, very dominant first round, showing us that, hey, sometimes, everybody gets one.
Shout outs to some of these follows in the chat, by the way. Devoid Scrimp, Upo 14, Soft Volvet, and Normal Rachel. Guys, I really appreciate y'all showing some support. Our players really do appreciate it as well. Everybody coming out and watching them tear it up here at grand finals. SQ got you opened up. Red doesn't have that burst, neither player does, in fact, and is trying to get out of this situation, but SQ jailing you back with those quick 5Ks, man. That button is notorious for being quick, active, and pushing big bodies like this into the corner. SQ gonna take this first game.
Taking it very convincingly as well. I mean, Red just suffocating in the pressure here, just not able to escape. That white wall assault not going to find its mark, but so is that sword. But that rock, however, is going to. We're out here throwing rocks tonight here in Guilty Gear Strive. Nice couple little counter hits here. Going to be going for that good old Morta Bato wall break. Tell me if you've seen this before.
Man, I've been watching 20 plus games of SQ in this top 8 alone. At this point, I'm a Ramlethal professional. We all are. Able to learn from one of the best in the game, best in this online scene, and she's showing you why you need to put some respect on her name. Good white wall assault there from Red so that we didn't have to play with that H sword after. doing some really creative behemoth pressure as well. We were actually able to take SQ to the other side of the screen.
SQ deciding to burst, looking at the HP total, looking at the resources, it makes sense. But we get caught by the JD, put the cape on, it's a hero burst.
Dog, that's crazy. RedIAmNot actually came back that round with that white wall assault out of the H sword pop, but that was last round. We're in the next one. We're playing like crazy out here, man. Getting scooped up, shot back and forth, red RC into the slam down. That combo is so cool. Getting the grounded behemoth hit that bounces you so high that you link it into jump JD. Dude, Goldlewis does have some sauce, man.
Goldlewis has a fair amount of sauce indeed, especially with the new security cancels in Season 4. We're seeing some gameplay here. Ooh, caught out by the minigun is barely not going to be enough to kill, but we get the hard knockdown. Red needs a one hit to do it, and the quick little overhead's gonna take it. Red securing the second game here in Grand Finals.
Medikit, that was kind of insane, right? Because there's a universe where Red does not win that last game. It was very close for SQ to secure it, in which case she would have been up 2-0 right now. And then, I mean, I don't know, that momentum can be really threatening for someone when you're in that Grand Finals reset position. But Red able to take a game here, proving, hey, I've earned this spot. This is where I should be. I'm going to keep this advantage while I can. SQ is the one on the back foot, and Red was proving it right there.
Indeed, hero. Nice burst from RedIAmNot, trying to just deny SQ any of that momentum. We do not want to get put into the corner again. Oh, the combo drops. Nice side swap on the side of Red. What an opening. But hold on, when did we swap again?
Oh, man, we're swapping back and forth, man. We're Asuka teleporting out here, man. SQ getting that throw. Oh, maybe a little. Oh, wait, no, that was the reversal super PRC from Red. I'm like, oh man, I can't believe that didn't connect, but very good defensive mechanic usage there from Red. And good blocks on these BTs from SQ, man. We are not getting mixed up high-low. Oh, as soon as I say that, we're getting scooped around. Red's canceling all that security into a nasty combo. SQ with a really good tech, but Red's going to secure this round with the 2K.
Red looking to get that 2-1 lead, looking to take that Grand Finals quick. But not if SQ has anything to say about it. We're going to be going through that wall again. Not enough meter for that Mortabato. So Red has a chance to play around, return to that neutral from that wall break.
And she has so much tension to play with, but Red doing a good job of jailing you down. That Mortabato actually connecting the startup of super, I think I saw right there, but SQ was able to beat it out with H-Sword Red. Getting in with that white wall assault.
Yeah, we just got to be careful. Yep, there's that burst coming up, so just have to be careful. Because the second that burst comes out, that's a revert to neutral, but we won't even need it. RedIAmNot sitting up 2-1 Grand Finals with a nice little Behemoth Typhoon OTG.
Man, these rounds are going back and forth. It feels like Red able to have the game lead here. But SQ so strong in that first round, first game, and in these individual rounds. I'd love to see what she has up her sleeve. This is her chance, though. You see her sitting there thinking, maybe taking a breather, but also could possibly be thinking about another pick medikit. Could be swapping to that L-Felt. Maybe, hey, you know what? I got pretty far in this bracket. Let me Hail Mary my Unica and see what happens, you know? Could be one of those. But maybe it's just going to be that Ramlethal staying with the tried and true, saying, hey, I can try to close this one out.
Yep, just sticking with what works. Taking a bit of a second to think it out. Okay, yep, we are locked in to Ramlethal for the rest of Grand Finals. As in order to have the ability to swap again, SQ is going to need to first at least reset the bracket.
I think she's capable of doing it, man. No bias. I'm not picking no favorites. I like both of these players. Of course, they're both many-time weekly supporters of the Jeekly, both SQ and Red. So big shout-outs to them. Coming to our weekly Friday night tournament, 8 p.m. EST, free to enter, but we still got a prize pool to support you in SQ, trying to get a big slice of that pie as she plays very well against Red here, securing that round with the 5D mix.
Yeah, starting up our next round here. Red trying to go for a bit of aggressive JD action. Oh, but nice backdash on those behemoths.
Ooh.
Yeah, Red definitely not afraid to just kind of spend the resource, just kind of send it. Jeek, that was almost a disaster.
I mean, you're definitely right on that white wall assault, and you're right that that was almost a disaster. SQ getting that counter hit on the JH that, unfortunately couldn't get. Wait, that was another super PRC from Red. That's the second time that's happened. It takes me a second to even realize.
Oh, nice counter hit. This is going to be a fair amount of damage using that Skyfish to close it out. A little bit of a guts crush action here. RedIAmNot is currently sitting on tournament point.
Strong stuff, man. If you're sleeping on Red, I don't know what to tell you. One of the strongest players here in this game. Taking out the likes of someone like SQ. SQ sweeping through this bracket here on the loser's side, seeded to get it through the whole tournament, if not win. But Red is the one coming out on top with that overhead behemoth to seal it and wins the Jeekly 61 without dropping a single set.
Amazing play here from both SQ and RedIAmNot, playing so very strong. But congratulations to RedIAmNot for taking the Jeekly 61.
Guys, I want to do a quick shout out real quick. Massive stuff, massive thanks to of course Medikit for coming out tonight and helping with the co-coms, donating his time on Friday nights to help me out with this, man. Medikit, that's not lost to me. Thank you so much. Shouts to my mods for running the bracket in the background. Shoutouts to all y'all for coming in through the Twitch chats, not just here on the main stream but also on the Arx's stream. So then that segues to big shouts to Team Arc creators, guys. I wouldn't have been able to do this without them giving me and my team and others opportunities to do cool stuff within the scene, to show off our talents that support the game that we love. They see that we put the game on. They love that we put the game on. Let me tell you, man, they appreciate us, okay? TOs, cosplayers, artists, they appreciate us. If you want to be part of Team Art Creators, I encourage you to sign up. Worst they say is no, man. It's been a cool thing for me so far, so. But Medikit, man, any parting words, my man? You want to shout some of the stuff you've been working on, brother? I'm gonna go ahead and cue this one up for a raid.
Alright, I can indeed shout out kind of what we've been doing here. So you've probably heard it a couple times here throughout the bracket, but there's a Sunday event called Mr. Bad Guy's Wild Ride that I run every Sunday. It's one of the Strive weeklies. Registration closes at 4:30 p.m. EST on Sunday, and the bracket starts 30 minutes later at 5 p.m. EST. So come on over. It's a $25 minimum pot. It's a great time. There's a lot of really cool players. This was my first time seeing Joe Brownie play, was in that bracket, so it was really exciting. It's really cool to be able to run it.
Guys, sending it off. Check out the Jeekly on Fridays, Jeekly Academy bi-weekly on Saturdays, Jeek League wrapping up on Tuesdays, and you may be seeing some Jeek offline events coming up soon. I got some stuff in the works. Big news, guys. Maybe a tweet incoming this weekend. You'll have to see. Jeek offline may actually be a thing, guys. It may be coming, but I'll only leave you with that. Have a great night, guys. Have a great rest of your weekend. Peace out.